Shalom, shalom, family. This is Divine Prospect of Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, and we're live. This is another Freestyle Friday session. For some reason, you guys like this Freestyle Friday session. I mean, I don't know. I guess you'll like the raw, uncut interaction, etc. But it's all good. It's all good. So I'm gonna wait for a couple people to get in the room, and then we'll get started in a few minutes. As soon as we get enough people in the room. So those of you who are joining, take the link, share it. Let's get some people in here so we can get started. All right. And I know I say Freestyle Friday. Technically, it's on Saturday morning, but I like Freestyle Friday better. And it sounds good. And mostly people still consider it Friday anyway until they wake up. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all good. So I'm going to give you guys a debriefing from this past weekend, which is very eventful. I know I didn't make a video about any of this yet, but I will, and I will speak about it here. Also, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up with some upcoming lectures that I got. I'm doing one on Sunday. I'm doing one next Sabbath, probably more than likely, and then that following Sunday, and then I'm doing another one that following Sunday. Then I'm take a break for a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna do another one. Right. So the next 3 weekends, I should have a couple more lectures coming out for y'all. All right. So let me go ahead and let me check the chat, see what's going on. Right. So for those who just jumped in the chat, I want to say peace and shalom to the Black Ab One, Ayash Hawad, Derek Kwaye, Amara United We Stand, and Obadiah Yisrael. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to y'all. Shalom to y'all. Peace to y'all. Mishpachah, thank you for joining in. So I'm waiting for the watcher count to go up a little bit more before we get started. 916 Shan. Shalom Akoti. I think that's Akoti. I think that's Shanti. Is that Shanti in the building? That's you, Shanti. Let me know if that's you from Facebook. Shalom to brother Kevin Scott. Shalom. All right, so we're gonna let a few more minutes pass. Shalom to Latoya Loves Locks. Yep, Shanti Doc. That's my sister right there. That sister is very smart, man. Very smart. She knows her stuff. Shalom to Jashub Ishakar. That's my brother right there. We don't always agree on a lot of things, but that brother has stepped his scholarship game up. I mean, so much love and respect to that brother. Amara United We Stand said, just was watching a presentation on Sonetta. Very good job, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that, family. I'll probably show y'all a couple of slides from it during this Freestyle Friday session. I was going to do like a separate session on that because, like I said, I pulled it from a 300 slide presentation. You know what I'm saying? I pulled about 50 slides from it. So I probably will add maybe another 5 or 10 more slides just to throw a couple more things in there. Because like I said, man, I have tons of information when it comes to ancient Kemet, just like I do ancient Israel, because I make sure I thoroughly research these things so I can properly understand it before I speak on it. You feel what I'm saying? And nobody at that event was really rebutting, or refuting, excuse me. I'm not going to say rebut. Jabari attempted to rebut 2 points that I make, but there's nothing else you can say because everything else is facts. Anytime I put information out, I make sure I get it peer reviewed and I double check it before I go on with it. You feel what I'm saying? So, but that's all good. Who else is in here? Cam in the way. Shabbat Shalom. Matsud Emeth Da'ath. Shalom to you. I was trying to watch something, then you pulled this late night cat. My bad. I don't know what that was you were trying to watch. But you can bring up 2 tabs and you can jump back and forth, just so you know. All right, so we're gonna give it a few more minutes. Yeah, man, the counseling sessions never end. Damn. All right, family. So, yeah. So let me see. Still waiting. Hebrew Nation building. Shalom to you, King. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, family. I mean, I should show you how many messages I got. But what I will show y'all is this. I'm gonna show y'all this so y'all can see. Search for friends. All right, on Facebook, I think there's a cap to over 1,000 friend requests that you can get on Facebook. And mine's at 1,050, about 1,050 friend requests. And this is after I go through them every week. So I'll either add people every week, delete people every week, and then more and more requests will come. And then inbox messages will come on top of that. So sometimes it's a lot of information, to go through. Shout out to Niece's Pieces. Thank you, Koti. I appreciate that. Everybody in the chat, man, I shout everybody out in the chat. So anytime somebody goes back and they view this, they know exactly who's supporting this channel. And like I said, going forward, I'm gonna have a featurette series. So if y'all want to come on here and chat or whatever, I mean, at the end, I'll probably open up. I'll open up the chat so y'all can jump in if y'all want to speak or dialogue or whatever the case may be. There's been a couple of people that I've been interfacing with that said that they want to debate me and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I pick and choose who I interface with, because dispensing the amount of energy, effort, and time in a debate with somebody where there's no solution, to me, is pointless. And that's just my stance on that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm about solutions. Even though I put out a lot of scholarship in regards to Hebrew Israelite culture, at the end of the day, I'm all about solutions. We're going to be doing an event in September about Black on Black violence. I'll make sure I record it, post it up for you guys to peep it. It's pretty good event that's coming up. But the subject matter is dealing with Black on Black violence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's a little bit taboo in the so-called conscious and Israelite community. People like to talk about white supremacy a lot and being oppressed by the system and so forth, which I'm definitely hard body into. But we also got to address the Black on Black violence in the community as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I know more individuals who have succumbed to Black on Black violence, as opposed to a direct attack from white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a balancing act. We got to address both extremes, and in order for us to have any progress within our community. All right. So I know there may be some slight background noise, but if you guys can hear me clearly, just hit 1. If the camera quality is good, hit 1. I just replaced my camera. I got a brand new camera. It's the Logitech Brio 4K Pro webcam. All right. It has a lot of features that I have not unlocked yet. I just purchased it earlier today, and I'm loading it up now for the first time. So if you guys can hear me clearly, hit 1. If you can see me clearly, hit 2. So if the audio is clear, hit 1. If you can see me clearly, hit 2. And I just want to make sure everything's in sync. So hit 1 or 2 and let me know that everything is going well. And then we're going to get started. All right. So like I said, I'm going to start off giving you guys a debriefing of this past weekend. After the debriefing, I'm going to give you an update on some future lectures that I'm doing. And then after I give you some information on future lectures that I'm doing, then we'll get into discussions. We'll get into, some scholarship. We'll get into health or whatever the case may be. You never know what's going to happen on Freestyle Friday. You feel what I'm saying? Anything can come up. For those who have been following this series, anything can come up. I can get a question from y'all, whatever the case may be. Shout out to Talk Truth for Shawnee, sis. I forgot to send you the link, but I see you on it as always. So shalom for that. Adonaya Aur. Shout out to you, Rhonda Strong. Shout out to you, sis. Jennifer M. Shout out to you, sis. Make sure I catch everybody. I'm gonna catch everybody. So I go into a myriad of different subject matters. Centralized on Hebrew Israelite culture. But out of that is just any information that can empower, equip, encourage, and enhance your walk. The objective is to give you guys the tools or point you in the direction and let you guys do for self. I'm not here to be no cult guru. You know, I tell people all the time, your success is only limited to the amount of successors that you can produce. You know, if people are not engaged in your organization, your ministry, whatever you got, and they cannot themselves take the information that you've given them as a template and build something from it, then you failed, right? You can never be on a kamikaze mission when it comes to the community. All right. The community, you know, not one person can carry the entire community. You know what I'm saying? We have to continue to raise up and build leaders and be able to celebrate and support other leaders, right? It does not take away from you being a leader yourself. It goes to show how much more of a leader you are and how less insecure you are when you're able to lift other leaders up and send people to other leaders and recommend other leaders and help to build other leaders. You know what I'm saying? That's very, very important. And that's one thing that we don't see in our community a lot is celebrating other people, you know, especially people who are doing big things, whether it's on a small scale or a grand scale. You feel what I'm saying? So, all right, so that's that. I can't really, I don't know. Let me see something real quick because this thing is not, this thing is, see, I knew there was more people in here than what this thing's showing. Yo, let me ask a question to your family. How many of y'all have a different interface for YouTube? Because it's interesting because on my desktop, my YouTube interface changed. It looks slightly different. But when I go back on my laptops, it looks fine. There's also an option that when you go to your channel, you can click on view as, and when you click on that, it brings it back to the old format. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you guys are experiencing this as well. If so, just hit one or just comment, let me know. All right, so let's see what they're saying. Nothing really going on in there. All right, family. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started. Y'all said that everything is cool. Yeah, Derek said his interface is updated too. So I'm not alone. All right, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. All right, family. So sounds like you are looking at the video as the editor. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Shout out to Ace Promo. Jashu, what are you talking about? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Ace Promo, I'm gonna give you my email address. I want to say shout out to the people that have applied to be a member or requested membership. I've granted membership to a couple of people, so congratulations, shout out to y'all who have now joined the team, joined the family, and is looking to contribute. You know, like I said, this is all about autonomy. You feel what I'm saying? So you have to be able to bring something to allow the body to be self-governing. You know what I mean? So shout out to the few people that successfully have joined the ministry. Anybody else who wants to be a part of it, you know, send the email to kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Me or somebody on my team will get to it. We'll send you the assessment test. You go through the assessment test. If you pass the assessment test, then we send you a welcome letter. And after the welcome letter, then you'll be a part of the team. You know, and what we're doing is we're trying to set up study groups in other cities, you know, and not just other cities, other suburbs as well, because everybody doesn't live in the city, you know. So we want to be able to give y'all the tools so that way you can set up study groups where you're at and have an objective approach to your studies. So that way, you know, it would be less personal and more focused on what the Most High wants us to know, given all the tools necessary in order for us to inductively analyze our culture and be able to share that message confidently with other people as well. You feel what I'm saying? So, all right, so let's see. All right, so let's get started, man. I'm gonna get into this weekend real quick, and I'm gonna go from there. So far we got about 33 people in the building. Share this link, family. Share everywhere on Facebook. Get people in the building. Let's get more people in here tonight, so that way they can see what's going on. Now, what I'm about to share with you guys is exclusive. I have not come out publicly on my perspective as to what occurred this weekend. I wanted to share it with you guys first. Now, also, before I begin, I'm gonna let you guys know that we're almost at 5,000 subscribers. When we hit 4,000 subscribers, I released a video showing you guys how to retrieve unclaimed funds in your name. Now, when we hit 5K subscribers, it's going to be a massive giveaway. All right, I'm giving stuff away. All right. So if you guys can subscribe, if you're not subscribers already, or recommend this channel for other people to subscribe. Once we hit 5K, I'm giving free stuff out to y'all. All right. I want to make sure I continue to reward those who support this ministry and support this channel as well. All right. And like I said, coming soon, we're going to have a featurette series, and maybe y'all can give me a name. I've been thinking about some names for the featurette that we want to do for Kingdom Harbinger Ministries TV. And these will be independent sessions on this channel where we'll feature other people who have businesses, people that have other organizations, ministries, people that even want to interface with me and have like a semi-debate. I need a name, a very catchy phrase or a name or a title for that featurette. And if somebody has something that they can share, that's a genius idea, please let me know. I'll definitely give you credit for it when it's launched, and definitely will give you a reward for assisting and helping out. All right. So if anybody can think of a name for the featurette series that I want to do, where I'm going to be hosting other speakers, people, other organizations, other businesses, people that are doing things in the community, people who are teachers and so forth, or upcoming teachers, because I can have people who's already established, but I rather feature up and coming people, you know what I'm saying, and allow them to have their break, and I don't mind exposing them to my audience. Definitely I'm going to assess them before bringing them on, because I'm not bringing nobody that's bugged out, but people that have a purpose and assignment and a mission, even if they have a disagreement with something that I teach, I'm willing to let them on here, build with them one-on-one, and expose them to the public, so that way they can get they can get the platform necessary in order for them to expand their ministry, organization, mission, assignment, purpose, or whatever the case may be. All right. So if y'all got any names, let me know. And like I said, I'm going to reward whoever finds the best title for this featurette series, and we're going to go from there. All right. So okay. Now for the record, yes, Jomain TV, I have spoken about the science in the Bible. What I'll do for you guys is I'm gonna do a lesson on the cosmogony in Bereshit chapter 1 and 2, and I'm gonna explain the scientific model that you can create from those chapters. All right, there's actually a cosmogony that I subscribe to, and the cosmogony or the cosmogenesis model that's in there. I'm going to show you the scientific model that aligns with that, and you guys will know what my perspective is on that. And then going forward, we can go into other things, like we can go into various herbs and various naturopathic things that's mentioned in the scriptures, like black seed oil, hyssop, and things of that nature that we can actually utilize today for health. Also, what I'm also going to go through, I got to find it and try to access it again. I'm going to go into the Geniza Cairo manuscripts, or the Cairo Geniza manuscripts. Geniza is a storehouse. And in these manuscripts, they have manuscripts on health, remedies and things of that nature. Also, there were also some found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, and I have some of those as well. So I'll do a lesson on health in regards to what manuscripts were left behind extra biblically that deals with health and other things as well. So you can see the worldview of those during the time that created the manuscripts, and how we can update that information and apply it to contemporary modern times. All right. So I just want to make sure y'all understand that. All right, family. So let me go into this weekend. All right. So many of you know, many of you don't know. I don't know. So I traveled to New York on Friday. I was there for the weekend, came back Monday because I had to work on Monday. So I flew out to New York Friday evening, and Saturday was the Unity Camp get together on 125th Street across from the Apollo Theater. And this was with the Maccabees Alliance Council, and other groups. Sakari was out there, and other groups was out there, and they all came together and did a group unity camp across the street from Apollo Theater. Last year they did something similar, and I was there. The year before that, was 2015. I didn't do it with them in 2015. I was in New York in the springtime in 2015, and AOC and LOI had their Pesach, and I joined them for their Pesach in 2015, right? 2014, you know, I definitely did not do it anything like that in 2014, as far as like the Unity Camp. But last year and this year, I was part of the Unity Camp, and this year was pretty interesting. Wasn't too bad, but it didn't go on as long as it could have. It started at 2, and it was supposed to run throughout the evening, but there was an event that was set up. Now, let me get into this. All right, I'm definitely going to speak on this because, like I said, nobody's heard me discuss this before publicly, so you guys are going to know exactly what's up. Shout out to Anunnaki Offset. That sister is a big supporter of my work, and I appreciate her. She leaves a lot of positive comments on videos that I'm in, so shout out to that sister as well. So I went to the Unity Camp session, and after the Unity Camp session, there was an event. Now, I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? I had scant details about the event. The presenters, we had one conference call that I suggested to Danya Allah for us to have before going into the event, and we had that conference call and we spoke about it. Now, during that conference call, we was trying to engage who the speakers were going to be, how much time did we have. And what I did was I drafted up an itinerary to kind of structure everything, and I sent it to Danya Allah, which he then shared to everybody else who was the speakers, because I was under the impression that this was an Israelite event, right? That the Israelites had rented a spot, that we were lecturing on about kemet, and we each had about 30 minutes each, with a break in the middle and a Q&A at the end. And I knew that that Sonetta was coming through, and I knew that some of the speakers, lecturers, and people that's known in HOK was going to show up as well, and they will be given an opportunity to do a Q&A with the information that we shared, right? So this is the impression that I'm coming into about this event, right? So coming under this impression that this event was going to be, you know, I already had my lecture, so that way I can get 30 to 45 minutes. Now, when I was speaking on the conference call, there was certain individuals. I was like, oh, I don't need all my time. So I said, Joe, can I have some of your time? They was like, yeah, sure. So I was like, all right. Are y'all okay with it? Because, you know, I'm not just going to just increase my time and be unfair and unjust. I don't rock like that. So I asked the panel, are you guys okay if I get a little bit extra time? They say, yeah, sure, Devon, it's all good. So I was like, all right. So I was able to squeeze 45 minutes in. So my presentation can only be fully expressed within 45 minutes, right? Because that's the amount of time that I thought I would be designated. I even crunched it down to me about 35 if we started later or something like that, right? So let me put y'all into game. Now, I didn't speak to Sonetta about this event, so I didn't know his angle about it, or if things were going to change. What I had no clue. So there was some kind of live stream that was going on, and I jumped in the live stream, and I made a couple of comments in there, and Sonetta made a comment. He was like, oh, Devon, you're going to get crushed this Saturday or something like that, he said. And I was like, what? So I'm saying to myself, and you know, I know Sonetta, so I know he didn't mean anything malicious by it. But when he says something like that, it's more like in a competition, amp up, promo type of thing. So I'm saying to myself, I'm going to get crushed. So I'm saying to myself, yo, how are they going to crush us if they're just doing a Q&A? So I was like, man, something else might be going on. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm going to be prepared for whatever, right? So it gets to around 6:30. So from 6:30, I walk from 125th Street near the Apollo, and we walk all the way down to the National Black Theater, right, which is towards Fifth Avenue. And I'm walking there, and when I get there, I'm thinking that it's actually in the building, right, the National Black Theater building. But prior to that, I saw Sonetta, because he's not far from, he's across the street from the Apollo, near 125 Mart, which is an old clothing store that I used to shop in way back in the day, but they closed it down. And when I spoke to him, he was like, man, how come all y'all Hebrews is coming out for this event? Y'all must be scared. I said, scared of what? He was like, oh, scared of the questions we're going to ask y'all because we putting y'all on trial. I said, wait, how y'all going to put us on trial if we're giving a lecture? He said, you'll see, you'll see. I'm like, all right. So he was like, man, I don't know how all y'all going to fit. I said, what you talking about? I said, we're not going to be in the National Black Theater. He said, yeah, but we're going to be in the side part. And I was like, side part? He said, yeah, I don't know how many it can hold. I was like, what? So I didn't know nothing about that, right? So I was like, wow. I was like, okay. He said, yeah, yeah. I said, all right, so I'll see you later. He said, all right, cool. So everything was cool. So I knew something was up, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So fast forward to 6:30. So I'm walking there and I see exactly what they're talking about. I've never been in that location. It's right next to the entrance for the National Black Theater. And the Scientology, they own that whole entire building, right? So I next door, I believe, was a Scientology room. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. But it was just an open space with chairs and they had something set up. So I go in there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm about to unpack and get it popping. You know what I'm saying? So so coming in there, I see Sonetta setting up, and I go to him and I'm like, yo, what's up, son? He said, yeah, what's up, Divine? I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, are y'all ready? I was like, yeah, we ready. What you mean? I was like, yo, we got lectures back to back set up and we're gonna give y'all Q&A. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. He's like, nah, brother, that's not how it's going down. I'm like, what you mean that's not how it's going down? He said, nah, you think we're gonna come out here just to watch your lecture? Nah, we're not gonna do that. He's like, yo, I have some people that need to speak as well. I was like, what? I was like, what you mean you have some people? He said, yeah, Jabari, Reggie, Garfield, blah, blah. He's like, yo, they need to speak as well too. And I was like, man, yo, I had no clue that was what y'all had planned. He's like, yeah, man, brother, things are subject to change, man. He's like, yo, I rented out the spot for you guys. And if I'm going to rent out the spot for you guys, the least thing I could do is feature some speakers alongside you guys, because we're not just going to sit here and listen to you guys lecture. So I was like, yo, Sai, we already have an itinerary set up. He's like, yeah, if you do, you gotta change it up. And I was like, man, I said, everybody that we had that was supposed to speak might not speak now. He was like, man, y'all got to figure it out. But, we got between 7 and 11 o'clock. Come on, let's hurry up and get everything set up and we can get started. So upon him saying that, there was people at the door. And people at the door, he said, man, we're going to have people take donations, right? In the event that we go over, and also to help offset how much he paid for the venue. And I'm not going to put out his personal business on how much was paid for the venue. But he wanted some donations to assist with that because he had other expenses because of the event that was happening the next day. So I kind of understood that, whatever the case may be. But the thing that I was kind of frazzled about was the fact that he's saying they had other speakers, like 3 other speakers. And I'm saying to myself, the whole itinerary that I set up was not designated for no more than the 6 speakers that we already had set up for us to speak, including the break and the Q&A time at the end. So now I'm like, man, this is crazy. So people at the door taking donations, and now all the Hebrews that was doing camp was showing up at the door. People I invited, they showed up there, and they was under the impression that they got to pay at the door. So they was like, nah, we're not going in. We're not going in. So Danya Allah, he opens the door and said, Divine, man, I need to speak to you real quick. Sanada's like, no, Divine, come on, we need to set up. He said, Divine, please, man, I need to speak to you real quick. And I said, Sanada, hold on one second. Let me go holler at Danya Allah and see what's up. So I went over there and spoke to Danya Allah. And again, I'm not going to give you guys all the details, right? Because I don't want to reveal too many things that was being spoken of personally between us, right? But when I spoke to Danya Allah, he was like, man, what's going on, blah, blah. So I explained to him what was going on. He said, man, that's not what we had planned. He's like, man, I don't know nothing about that. I said, yo, where's Hashar? You know what I'm saying? He said, Hashar's on his way. I said, because Sanada told me that he explained to Hashar that that's how they was getting down. I'm like, man, I wish I knew that's how they was getting down, because if I knew somebody else was going to present, I would have had formatted my presentation much differently. I would have shortened the amount of time and the amount of slides, and I would have set it up in a way where I would pose questions to them that they'd have to answer and address. And I was a little disappointed that I was not prepared for that type of format, right? And I felt like also at the same time it would look unorganized to the people watching, because now we're trying to figure out what's going on the fly. So after me and Daniela chop it up, Sanada comes outside and we all talking, etc. He explains the situation, why he had people at the door, why he needed donations, etc. And after he settled up with us, we was like, all right, cool. So Sanada took the people from away from the door and just let all of us in. So all these Hebrews is coming in. You know what I'm saying? All these Hebrews is flooded in. You know what I'm saying? So they all come in, and now we're scrambling to get everything done. At this point, it's after 7:30. We're trying to get everything set up so we can start the event. You know what I'm saying? So I set up my camera to record, and I always set my camera up to record. And me and Sanada, we have a special relationship. I provide them with IT services. So I said, in exchange for IT services, I want to be able to record certain events, and I'll keep it for my own personal library. Or after you release your official video, then I'll release a portion of my recording for my YouTube channel purposes and as a backup. So if something happens to his camera or another camera, then there's an extra camera that's recording, so that way he has the footage in case he needs it. So I look out for him like that, and also look out for myself. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, we can avoid the chop and screw. You know, lately he hasn't been doing a lot of that, but you know, I do that to protect myself as a means of insurance for myself, right? So anyway, long story short, so we scrammed, and I'm like, yo, so how the format's going to be? He said, all right, one of y'all go and one of us go. One of y'all go and one of us go. He said, or y'all take 2 hours, we do the last 2 hours, and we'll just open up the floor. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, we're going to do it like that. You know, how about y'all just go first and then we'll go last? And I'm like, all right, whatever. He said, they say you going first. And I was like, I go first. I don't have a problem setting it off. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking after I went, Jabari would go up. But at the last minute, he's like, nah, Jabari, we're going to go last. I was like, okay, well, whatever. So I went up, and I'm thinking I had 30 minutes, right? I was told I had 30 minutes. So I'm going in, and while I'm talking, people are talking in the background. So that's interfering with my flow. There was some technical difficulties, and I'm typically the man behind the camera and behind the equipment, making sure everything was good. But this time, Sanada had a professional who was doing a live stream. So if you watch the live stream, you see it has better quality, 2 cameras. They had a pretty good setup, you know what I'm saying? So there was somebody manning it, but there's the projectors that I had to set up, right? There's the computers connected to the projectors I had to set up. There was the PowerPoint session presentation that I had to set up. So I had to still man some of the stuff like I always do for all his events. Anytime I'm there, I always step up and I assist with the technical matters. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want people to be shorted because there's technical issues, right? And I assist with that. You know what I'm saying? So there was some technical issues when I was doing mine. I needed to zoom in, so I had to stop and go zoom in for myself. And, you know, it just threw me off a little bit. But the thing that I was most upset with, they only gave me 20 minutes. And I was so tight because my presentation was set up for a 45-minute pocket of time in order to do my dissertation. So they cut me under 20 minutes and I was tight. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, and I had about 50 something slides, or 50, 55 slides, something like that. And I was going to get through all of it within 45 minutes, right? Because I had went over and everything like that. So when he cut my time, I was tight. I was like, yo, blah, blah. Y'all can watch the video. You know, y'all see me beefing or whatever the case may be. I was like, you know, whatever. So I kept going on when he gave me the 5-minute marker, the 2-minute marker timing or whatever. And then they cut me off. But what I realized is while I was going through my slides, I was looking at the faces to people in the kemetic community. Now, my presentation was not an attack on ancient kemetic culture. My presentation was designed to reveal the ugly and the bad towards the romanticists in the kemetic community, because there were a lot of associates that I have that's part of the kemetic community that's upset with other associates of theirs presenting pseudo information and romanticizing the culture. And they said to me, Devon, one day, can you just go in about this information? Now, they don't want to come out about it because that's part of their community and they don't want to get ostracized from their community, even though there's some brothers that are doing it now. Team Osiris is doing it now, and them and Amon Ross Squad are going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And now Joshua Kane Sr., he's going back and forth with Wujawu and Asar Imhotep in regards to its Egyptian derived from a Bantu phylum, linguistic phylum, right? So they're going back and forth on that, as well as in other things. But then I was asked by other people in the community, hey, can you deal with the romanticists and really reveal a lot of things that happen in the culture that people avoid or they don't address? And I said, cool, I'll do it. And then secondarily, I had some, Israelite brothers ask me also to bring some information out. So I make sure I preface my presentation with telling people, hey, I'm not hating on ancient kemetic because I study the culture. There's good things in the culture. There's things that I like about the culture. You feel what I'm saying? But what I don't like is the romanticist who puts a rug over the hole in the ground. So that way you're thinking everything is all sweet and dandy and you step and fall in the same pitfalls that this community fell in. And this will cause them to fall or cause their downfall. You know, one of the main things I wanted to really get into was the tomb robbers. And when you understand why tomb robbing happened, tomb robbing didn't happen because people were just being wicked and evil, even though you had some individual cases here and there, but it increased in intensity when the Nasut started to be real greedy with his resources and his demand on the peoples. And one of the great villages, the Deir el Medina, one of the great villages, workman villages, middle-class workman villages that worked on the Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, which is a very prosperous community. And they left behind some of the most amount of evidence in regards to a prosperous community during that time period in the New Kingdom. They came to an end because the kings or the Nasuts started to not pay them on time. So the people started to strike, right? And then when their striking was not adhered to or listened to or addressed by the king or the elitists, they said, yo, we're going to go get our reparations. We're going to go rob these tombs. And if you're not going to pay us, we're going to take our reparations in our own hands. And this was a breakdown in ma'at, or a breakdown in order within a society. And what I'm saying to people is that when we have people who are egotistical maniacs that's in the kemetic community and thinking all the attention should be on them, and what they do is that their organization is here at the expense of the little peoples. All they're doing is emulating something that caused ancient Kemet to fall. So what I want to do is give people a history lesson so that way they know exactly what occurred. And I wanted to go into detail about that. I wanted to show people actually that magic and oracles was something that they believe that they can be able to manipulate the natural realm and the natural order of things in order to have a supernatural means of afflicting others. And when I wanted to go into the harem conspiracy of Ramses III, I brought out for the community that he had his throat slit. And this was from new data that's been revealed to us recently, because before, about 10 years ago, they didn't know how he died. Some people say he died from drinking poison. A couple of days later, after the attempted assassination, some people said that it was a snake bite. They had all these conspiracies, but what they did was they had an actual scan where they moved down some of the bandages from his neck, and what they saw was two gashes in his throat, and some of the embalming fluid has seeped in and even went into the bone, and they saw that he had his throat cut. So I don't know if his throat was cut and that caused the actual incident. You can go to the Turin Judicial Papyrus, look it up, the Turin Judicial Papyrus, and this is a very unique papyrus because we don't have a lot of papyruses like this that actually goes through an actual trial, like the whole entire trial, all the conspirators, the penalties for their conspiracies, etc. What happened was the people who had the greatest penalties were not the people that was directly involved with the crimes, but the people that knew about the crimes and didn't say something about it, right? So I wanted to go heavy into all this because I wanted people to understand that y'all talking like this was some kind of utopic society. They had retainer sacrifices and everything. I wanted to go into some real heavy information from a 300. Now, family, imagine if I do a 300 PowerPoint lecture on all of this information that I've uncovered about ancient Kemet that nobody talks about. I'm telling you, people will reevaluate the culture. And it's not to dissuade people from engaging the culture if that's what they want to do. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to give them the good, the bad, and the ugly. When we look at the cultural literature for the Hebrew Israelites, you have the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's all laid out in the text. There's nothing hidden. People have done some wicked stuff in there. People have done some bad stuff in there. People have done some good stuff in there. It's there. There's nothing utopic about the text, right? And every culture had their ups and their downs, right? And if you are following after an ancient culture, you must know the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you can't present to people this smokescreen to have them believe that there was no such thing as anything negative that was happening in society, right? So I wanted to ensure that people saw that and people engaged that. Now, one update that I wanted to make was that I had talked about the headlight situation, right? Well, a couple updates from that lecture. The first thing was I showed some preliminary a preliminary report in regards to skin bleaching, right? And the provenance of the head that was found, and the individual who actually was working on Despina, Moisey Dow, she was working on it, and they discovered that there was a skin condition that the mummy had, and it was due to some severe cosmetics that they were wearing that caused the bleaching of the skin. Okay, shout out to you, family. You actually doubled the watch count, so I appreciate that. 65 people in here now. So shout out to you, family. Keep sharing this, keep passing it out to people, etc. Anunnaki Osset says Kemetic culture isn't challenged enough on Sarnetta. We can give people the good, bad, and ugly. It helps people better understand what they subscribe to. Shout out to the sister for that. That's a great comment, and I agree. And what it does is that it helps you to improve upon that foundation. It helps you to create new paradigms based on the ancient past that was left behind by those ancestors, so that way we can avoid the pitfalls that cause them to fall, right? And then we can improve upon the culture. But when you don't tell people that, and they're thinking that, man, this culture was so great, then people go back and ask the question, well, if they were such a great culture, then how did they fall? You understand what I'm saying? How did you allow a people who are more, quote unquote, inferior than you to come in and usurp the culture? It's because people are not looking at the politics that was going on. And the fortunate thing is that people only study the 2% of ancient Kemet culture. You don't look at the peasants. You don't look at the laymen. When I showed the graffiti art of Semenimut and him and Hatshepsut, and I apologize for anybody that had children watching that. I have to apologize for that, because guys, I try to make the information accessible to a wide or a broad audience so that everybody can learn. Even on my channel, you guys know I'm not explicit. I don't curse. I don't show anything provocative, because I wanted this information to be able to reach as much people as possible, right? So I had to show that, and the reason why I showed that was because I was trying to give people, and again, the video wasn't working, man. It was just so much going on. But people asked me to do the presentation over again, so I'm gonna add 10 more slides to it, and I'll do it over for you guys soon. I'll give you guys when I'm going to do that. But anyway, the reason why I wanted to show this, because this was a graffiti that was written by one of the tomb workmen, and this was insight on how the laymen viewed the upper class, just like today. We believe that there is an oligarchy that runs America. The people don't run America. America is not a republic anymore. Remember, it's a democracy now. It was not ever designed to be a democracy. It was designed to be a republic. And the so-called founding fathers, this is what they say the reason why they put it together. Now, we also know that America was not founded with the quote-unquote Negro or quote-unquote African-American or quote-unquote black person in mind. This system was not set up for us at all. It was not designed for us. So we have to understand it was never designed to be a democracy, but all that changed in the Reconstruction period, and it was not designed for black people, all right? It was designed in order to support upper-class, elitist, white individuals. Most of them are part of secret society. Some of them weren't part of secret society, but they're very affluential, influential, etc. So understand how this country was founded. But the reason why I bring this up is because if you ask today, the layman, now let me give you some perspective or POV, point of view, right? Today, we have middle-class black people that live in America, right? If the bomb went off and blew up everything in America, and let's say hundreds of years later, somebody comes back and they examine the rubble, and the only thing that's left behind that was preserved, right, or intact, was that of the White House, that of the Republicans and Democrats, the politicians, the people who are rich, right, like Oprah and people like that. And they went and they examined only that sector. And this was interesting because when you go back and look at the Jericho and Kathleen Kenyon, she only examined a particular part of the city when she was examining it. And then, Dr. Bryant Woods examined another part of the city and uncovered something different. So depending upon where you excavate, it's going to reveal to you what occurred. So if they're only studying the elitists and they only left behind elitists, does the elitists of this nation reflect the middle class people? No. Does the viewpoint of the elitists on how they run the country, how the country should be run, the policies that they pass, does that reflect the people? The laymen or even the lower class people? No, it does not. So if we're going to look at a culture or a society, we have to look at it from the ground up. We can't just examine it through the lens of the elite. We have to see how the middle class and lower class, how they also view their culture, their environment, how they were being treated, etc. This is very important, family, in order for you to have a balanced outlook on any ancient culture. This is anytime you do ancient anthropology, this is what we should do. And we can't solely rely only on literature. We have to go to the archaeological record as well, because stories are told of other individuals in the archaeological record that we do not find in the literature. The literature is always controlled by the priest. You understand? And there's an agenda the priests have when laying down certain pieces of information. So when we go into the archaeological record, it gives us the voices of other people who are not spoken of in the literature itself. This is why I always blend archaeology with the literature, as well as the language and history and other things, in order to best formulate what occurred, with the pre-ancient Israelite culture, which I strive to I strive to have my expertise in. But the reason why I brought that graffiti image is because the layman felt a certain kind of way with having a woman being the Nasut. They thought it was against Ma'at to have a woman being Nasut and having a man who was a middle-class individual, Senenamut, who made his way from middle class all the way into the royal house. Man, there's a book on this, man. There's a great book on this. But the book is like a romantic novel of history, right? They create like this love story between Semenamut and Hatshepsut. Now, mind you, Hatshepsut was married to Thutmose II, who she was related to. She was married to him. He died. She took over the throne, but then she had this man who was brought up within a royal house, who made his way into the royal house, and props him for that. And he wound up getting it in with her. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't the king. She didn't even marry this dude. He was just like a lover on the side. He was her side piece, man. I mean, he was her side piece, and that's keeping it a buck. And all the while raising up Thutmose III. And let me show you, when Thutmose III ascended to the throne, not only did they excise or start the process of excising Hatshepsut's images and desecrating her tomb and stuff like. Well, they didn't really desecrate her tomb that much. She has a really great mortuary tomb, right? This temple that she has is very elaborate, right? But not only did they excise her, they also excised the records of Senenamut. Now, why is this important? Because I'm showing you that from the layman's perspective, there was an outcry because they were not in support of a woman leading the people. This is not to say that women did not have rights. Women had almost equal rights to men in ancient Kemet, which is very interesting. They could do certain things that in other cultures you were not allowed to do if you was a woman. But the problem was the people always saw a man leading the nation, whether there were strong women behind him, whether he came out of the matrilineal lineage or whatever, that doesn't matter. When you have a woman that's assuming the role that only a man, the Nasut Biti, is supposed to have, the people, the laymen, felt that Ma'at was not being kept. Also, when they went and examined the body of Hatshepsut, they believed that she had type 2 diabetes. They believed that she was a glutton and that she was obese and overweight, right? So you're looking on the walls and you're seeing somebody that's slender and slim. No, they always wanted you to picture them in an ideal way. They never want you to see them slacking. That's like me, and I'm a king or I'm a ruler or something like that. And I tell my scribes, listen, the only things I want you to put on the wall is the best images of me. If I get overweight, if I get bald, if I get sick, I don't want you to put none of those things up there. You know why? Because it's gonna give the people too much of a realistic insight on how my life really is. This was like when I was showing people that they were not vegans. Most of the people that worked, especially the ones like the Medina, they were paid in beer and bread, right? Or grains, right? This was a form of payment that they had. They wasn't paying in coins, beer and bread. So that was part of their diet, but they were also opportunists. So they would eat chick quails and other kinds of meats as well. But the laymen were not really strong carnivores. You feel what I'm saying? The upper elites, they were, with the exception of some of the priests, like the Amun-Ra priests who would be vegetarians for about 40 years while they're going through their process of initiation, etc. But the other elitists, they would be gluttons, man. They died of atherosclerosis. I brought out the Heru study that was done in 2011 that showed that out of 52 mummies, almost 80% of them died or had heart complications due to atherosclerosis. And we know atherosclerosis happens when certain amino acids are synthesized in the gut or the gastrointestinal tract by the microbiota, which is the probiotics and the other beneficial bacteria that exist along the intestinal walls. And when they synthesize certain amino acids, they transform to L-carnitine, and that gets absorbed into the bloodstream. And what happens is it starts to attach or adhere itself to certain arteries and starts to plaque up, right? Because you have HDL, LDL in regards to a cholesterol, which is a part of a lipoprotein, etc., right? So I know the science behind all of this. You know what I'm saying? I study health, right? But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want people to understand that these people were not no vegans and they were not vegetarians. Now, you understand what I'm saying? The laymen were more vegetarians than the elitists. The elitists were gluttons. Every time they traveled somewhere, they would eat whatever they saw there that they like. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever was available there. and different places that they went to fight battles and stuff did not have no vegetation growing up. Sometimes they had to fight in deserts, and they will bring animals with them. They would have pastoralists with them, and they would eat from those flocks. You understand what I'm saying? But mostly they would bring a lot of grains with them, and you had granaries. Like the scriptures or the Bible talks about Pi Ramses, and it also talks about Pi Ramses and what's the other side? So Pithom and Pi Ramses. So these were storage sites. Why? Because in the East Delta, you had a pharaonic naval base, and what happened was before the 18th dynasty kings sailed along the Mediterranean to then come onto the coastal plains of the Levant and fight battles and stuff, they would have the locals that were there build for them these storehouses. Pi Ramses was one of them, which is the northern district of Avaris, you know, which happened later on over time. So Avaris was in this strata, and then above that strata was Pi Ramses. But it started out during the reign of the Thutmose dynasty, and then it continued on into Ramses the second made that area one of his central sites of ruling from, his capital cities or whatever the case may be. So they would have the locals there, which would be Semites, to create these storage silos. So that way, when the king was about to go to war, he would sail from the south, which is Upper Egypt, to the north, which is Lower Egypt. And upon sailing, they would bring these grains with them. They would store it there so that way they can load the ships, and then they can sail on the ships, come onto the coastal plains and fight their battles, right? This is why we see why these granaries were created, these storehouses were created by the Israelites according to the literature, right? It's because it was to accommodate these kings when they will go onto the excursions along the Mediterranean Sea onto the Levant or the coastal plains, right? So going back to Semenimut, so Hatshepsut was excised, Semenimut was excised, and we have no documentation as to why this occurs. So a lot of speculation comes into place, a lot of assumptions come into place. But one clue that we have is that the laymen did not see her ruling as Ma'at. The headdress that she had on was only for a male Nasut. And now we see Semenimut, which is proposed to be having sex with her. This is, I mean, the laymen weren't stupid. They knew what was going on, man. People gossip back then just like they do now. And they was not happy with that. So they started to draw these satirical things, making fun of the elitists, right? Like they knew what was going on behind closed doors. They were not happy with her, and they did not see the fact that her ruling and reigning was part of Ma'at. And this can also give us an even more accurate assumption as to why she was excised out of the record. And not just her, Semenimut as well, because him having sex with the queen and not him not being an authorized king was not Ma'at as well. This was information I was ready to go into for y'all family, but they cut me short. I was going to show that Asiatics, Libyans, and Nubians all had access to eternal life according to the Book of Gates. If you go and read into, I was going to show y'all the reliefs, go into the reliefs with y'all. I mean, there was so much information I had in there I wanted to show y'all, man. I want to show you the infatuation that the kings and Kemet had with the Semitic culture. I want to show you the improvements that the Hyksos brought in, and they helped to improve the armies, because ancient Kemet had standing, they didn't have no standing armies. They had to get conscripts anytime they went to battle. But the Hyksos brought in the compound bow, the horse and chariot, bronze weaponry. They brought all this technology with them. Now you hear people in the country community talk about African science and technology, and I'm saying to them, yo, how do you think the new kingdom was able to be equipped to go run all these excursions? They were not having a lot of battles and stuff like they were during the Levant and Mesopotamia, right? The people in Levant, Mesopotamia were fighting all the time, so they had to improve their weapons. The Egyptians did not have a horse and chariot before the Hyksos came in there. They didn't have horse and chariot. They would use mules and pack animals and stuff like that. The horse and chariot was brought in by the Hyksos. Compound bow was brought in by the Hyksos. Even the weapons that the armor that the Hyksos had was more superior than the Egyptians. The axes, the battle axes they used were more efficient than the Egyptians. So they brought science and technology to the Egyptians and helped to improve their army. So once they learned of this technology, they kicked the Hyksos out. They used this technology, they improved upon it, and they used it to go into the Levant and handle their business. They become a world power. But that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Hyksos coming in to Avaris and settling there. So the ancient Egyptians owe everything to the Hyksos for improving their military strategies, their military weaponry, and giving them technology in order for them to compete on a world scale against other nations. And you would think that, you know, all of this bad talk about the Hyksos, which the Israelites weren't, from my perspective, the Israelites were not Hyksos, right? These were the upper shepherd kings that ruled over Avaris during the 15th and 16th dynasties. I don't subscribe to them being Israelites at all. But these people were Semites like the Israelites. They ruled while the Israelites were there. Some people, they believe in an earlier Exodus. I believe in a much later Exodus, not the late Exodus, but a much later Exodus during the 18th dynasty, not the 19th dynasty Exodus. And some people believe that there was an Exodus during the 13th dynasty. But the point I'm trying to make, regardless, was that Semites improve Egyptian technology so they can compete on a world scale. So for anybody today who subscribes to kemetic culture to talk bad about the Hyksos, damn, y'all don't know a lot about history, man. Y'all need to go back and do your research. You really need to go back and do your research. Ramses II, who had sex with his daughter, Bint Anath, and had children with his firstborn blood daughter. You don't hear people talking about that. Ramses adopted Anat to be his matron protector deity. And this was a Semitic deity. You have all these deities you can choose from ancient Kemet, but you go and you grab Anat, which is a Semitic deity, and we can see information on Anat by going to the Ugaritic tablets and looking at the mythos on the Ugaritic tablets. We see who Anat was. Anat was believed either to be the sister or consort of Baal Hadad, right? And she was a warrior goddess, similar to Hathor, right? When Hathor transformed to Sekhmet. You know, so Sekhmet is the extreme form of Hathor. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there was a huge infatuation with Semitic culture after the Hyksos came in. So not only did they drive these people out, they also adopted a lot of things from the Semitic cultural people. I mean, this was always being done, but it was being done on a much broader scale after the Egyptians started going to the Levant and taking over the Levant, right? And assuming all of these deities, except for the Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh deity, which you find at the Temple of Soleb, that's mentioned either as a topogram or as a deity, right? They never bring this deity or this entity into their pantheon. Even when you look at the Lachish letters, even when you go to Kerbet El-Kum, even if you go to Kuntilit, Adrud, you go to all these sites that mention Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, all right? You don't see this entity being adopted by the Egyptian hegemony or the Egyptian elitists. Why they're not adopting Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh when they're taking every other deity, but they don't touch this one deity? Interesting. When we go to the Book of Gates or Amenhotep II, we see on the wall Egyptian soldiers drowned in water. See, this is around the same time that I said the Exodus occurred. So now we see in the Book of Gates, we see these this record of these Egyptian soldiers of Re, drown in this sea. Very interesting, family. Very interesting. I was prepared to go into all of this, show you the primary relief, go into it. They cut my time short. So long story short, family, I was very disappointed. You know, when the Israelites were speaking, our community got very amped at certain scenes. There was one part with Sha'al called Reggie an idiot, and that really set off everything going forward. But the people on my team, they brought out some great information. Some information they brought out I did not agree with, but some other information brought out I did agree with. But I was there in solidarity with my kinsmen, you know what I'm saying, with my brethren, right? You know, feel what I'm saying? So we came with an assignment and a purpose, and that's what we were there to do. What I would prefer going forward is that we peer review each other's PowerPoints, right? Using an academic methodology, so that way, if something is overlooked by one person, the other person can catch it, and we can make sure that our presentations are cohesive and that it has gone through the filter of what is the consensus in academia, so that way we can have a much better presentation. And this is what I do with my information. I always speak to professors about it, speak to other people in the community about it, and ask them about the information. Even if it's a preliminary report, I'll mention that, you know what I'm saying? And I'll put it out there, you feel what I'm saying, for people to go back in their research. But long story short, you know, we wasn't really happy that Danya Allah didn't get to speak. You know, when Reggie spoke, he said his thing. But when Jabari spoke, he was getting a lot of heckling by some individuals. Now, it wasn't all of us wasn't heckling him. It was maybe about 4 people that was really stirring things up. and other people are trying to calm them down. So you'll see Daniel Allah say a lot, please calm down, calm down. You'll see me say, calm down, calm down. Even when Reggie got up to leave because he didn't want to sit there and be called an idiot by Sha'al, you'll see me step in and try to make sure and maintain order. So anytime you see anything go down these events and these debates or whatever, anytime it looks like something about to pop off, go back and see what Devon is doing. I'm one of the first people coming up to the situation, assessing what's going on, de-escalating the situation, making sure there's peace and everything between us. Go back and watch Devon. Go back and see what I did. See if I just sat there. See if I was just docile. I'm in the midst of it to make sure nobody's getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everybody's okay. If I got to calm somebody down, because I've done this in the world, so I'm doing this. It's natural for me to do it in a conscious setting. You feel what I'm saying? So there was a lot of heckling going on. There was a lot of passionate responses and outcries from a community, especially when Hashar was going. He just amped everybody in the damn community up, and they was just getting all hype. You know what I'm saying? But that's the type of energy that we bring to an event. Even when Kemetic trial went down, it was a similar type of energy. You feel what I'm saying? But it was made to look at like it was something even worse. Now, the main issue, and I'm gonna end off on this so I can move forward. The main issue was towards the end of the event, we was approaching 11 o'clock. Sanada went up there, and Sanada requested an extra $100 for them to have another hour. Now, Sanada wasn't saying that to get extra money in his pocket. It actually cost $100 for them to keep an extra hour of the spot open. And about 11:30 or whatever, the owner or the manager of the National Black Theater came in there and actually was asking Sanada where my money. You feel what I'm saying? So, him asking for the extra $100, some Israelite brothers were not feeling that. And they was like, nah, we ain't give you no money, because they thought Sanada just wanted to collect it from the Israelite community. So it was a misunderstanding. And because of that misunderstanding, things got hyped, but nobody fought. There was no fight. Nobody got punched. Nobody got hit like the next event that happened the next day, which I'll get into, because, they talk about our community being crazy. But it wasn't our community that punched somebody in the face at the event that happened the next day. So Israelites, we may get rowdy, we may get in your face, but we're not going to hit somebody that we see as a fellow brother unless they're threatening to harm somebody, which did not happen in none of these events. So you're never going to see none of us Israelites hurting anybody in the kemetic community. We're not going to do that, right? Because we have a degree of honor that even though we may get upset, even though we may get loud, rambunctious, and boisterous, we're not going to put hands on nobody, Tommy Sotomayor snuck himself into the event. No, he didn't sneak. Let me rephrase that. He found his way at the event. I don't know who invited him at the event on Saturday, but he was there. And I'm going to show you. I got a picture of him, of me sitting and him not being far from me. And my thing, well, I was saying to myself, I said, man, there's a lot of people in here that say that black woman is God. They see Tommy Sotomayor coming here. And you know what I see? I see black women from the conscious community taking pictures with this man, laughing and giggling in his face. I was like, this is nothing different than what I see from these rappers that be talking crazy about women. And then at the end of their events and stuff like that, their performances, these women are all groupies that are looking for these artists that are going to treat them like trash. But it was mostly the women that was all up in his face. And I couldn't understand that for the life of me. I didn't. But I was surprised that nobody stepped to him. Not that I was advocating any violence or harm to come upon that brother, even though I disagree with a lot of his views. Nobody approached the brother, right? Or no, like, yo, you can't be here, man. You disrespect black women. We're going to have to address you. Can you step outside? You know what I'm saying? Nobody dealt with him that night. He spoke to Sanada shortly, and he came the next day. He was actually indirectly invited the next day to come, and he came the next day. He was asked, are you coming the next day? And he said, yeah, I'll come, and whatnot. So that could be a reason why he showed up to the event on Sunday, right? And mind you, I was there for both events. So long story short, nothing happened to Tommy. He came in, he wound up leaving out when things got really hectic. He was like, acting a little, like, I ain't gonna say scared, but maybe a little frazzled or whatever. And he's like, and he just left out. Because maybe he thought people was gonna fight or something like that. I mean, he's not trying to put himself in that type of environment, right? But anyway, so towards the end, like I said, some Israelites got upset because Sanada asked for extra $100 so they could stay for an extra hour, and then all of this rah-rah, started coming up, and people got a little upset or whatever. Some people left and calmed down. But at the end of the day, nobody fought. There was no physical violence. Nobody was harmed, anything like that. So I'll make sure y'all know that because I was there, right? And I'm going to show you some pictures of the event. Go back and watch. It's like 3 different videos up with 3 different angles. And I have my footage I didn't even put out yet. And y'all can see. Y'all see everything that goes on. You can, if you look at all these videos, you don't need nobody to give you no more commentary after this because you can see for yourself what happened and make your own judgment from there, right? So I'm going to show you this picture of Tommy Sotomayor real quick. But at the end of the event, after 11 o'clock, Garfield went up, Rob Bourne went up. They gave their lectures. The live stream was already cut off at that point. But Jabari was getting heckled, man. Man, he was getting heckled real bad. And that's the thing that I did not agree with. Even though I disagree with his information, I don't approve of how the brothers was heckling him while he was trying to present, right? Because I'm not intimidated by nothing he says. Even though with some things that he said I thought was kind of suspect, I was like, really, Jabari? Really? You're going to really say stuff like that? You'll go back and watch. You'll see what I'm talking about. I have no problem seeing so-and-so, so-and-so. I was like, okay, well, whatever. So the point I'm trying to make is they heckled Jabari. That led into the situation where Senator asked for money. They got upset. They thought he was only asking from the Israelite community. At the end of the day, they resolved it. I'm going to show you a picture where we was talking outside and everything was cool. So I'm here to let you know everything was cool. You know, there was a little rah-rah, but everything was cool. But that's my take on that, and I'm not going to speak about this no more. I said it, I vented it, I shared it with y'all, and I'm done with it. Let me show you some pictures about it, and let me move on with this Freestyle Friday session. We already been in this over an hour already, and I'm going to get into some real information. All right, let me see who else is in the group. We got 70 people up here. Tahira Kayana, shout out to you, sis. Mr. Math HS, shout out to you. Khalid is Eternal, it's my dude, shout out to you. Tanika West, shout out to Tanika. Tanika, she's part of the ministry as well. She's done a lot of work to assist, get some things done with the ministry. So shout out to Tanika West. Who else is in the building? Rodrigo, Yasha, Shakar, shout out to you. Make sure I cover everybody. Is that Gamaliel Padilla? Gamaliel Padilla, the brother was there as well. I didn't know the brother did amateur photography. It looks professional, man. This guy did an excellent job. He was there the whole time. He asked me, Devon, do you need water? He went and got water for me. I said, bro, I'm good. He said, nah, I got you. He went and got water for me. He was taking a picture. He said, Devon, do you need help with anything? So shout out to that brother, man. That brother, he really looked out. So shout out to that brother. My man Alfredo Valentine was also in the building. And he came out to support me at the Jabari event as well. So shout out to the brother as well. But that brother, Gamaliel Padilla, good brother right there, man. He has a lot of pictures he took from the event. I had to discuss with him how I can get it and share it with you guys. But good brother, man. Really good brother, man. Really good brother. So shout out to that brother. He's there in the Bronx if you want to holler at him. And he's also on Facebook as well. Daniela Aliyah L. Shout out to Daniela Aliyah L. Shout out to Friday Jones in the building. Who else is in here? Sean Fleming. Shout out to Sean Fleming. Moray Sheila Village. Shout out to Aliza in the building. Who else is in there? Navia Yashra L. Shout out to that sister as well. Who else? I cover everybody. I said Joe Main TV. Shout out to Joe Main TV. Levi Yisrael, my brother right there. Shout out to him. I think I covered everybody. All right, cool. I got you. I got everybody. Ezekiel Stevens, London in the house. Shout out to my brother right there as well. Zarak Yasharala, saying they from the Bronx. Shout out to Jarak. Nightblade, shout out to Nightblade. Shalom to you too, Ak. Eddie Thomas, shalom to Eddie Thomas, man. If y'all in the building, shout yourselves. Put a shout out to me in the chat, and I'm gonna shout you out. Tina W, shout out to Tina W. Reliable Andrew, shout out to Reliable Andrew. Smokers Lounge, PayPal.me/Evan Pikesville, Maryland, MD. Shout out to you too. If you in the building, you get in the shout out. Whitney Titus, shout out to you too. Who else is gonna get it? Who else want to shout out? Let me see. Who else is in here? Who else is in the building? Whitney Titus is from Canada. Shout out to Canada in the house. Dale H, that's my dude. Shout out to Dale H as well. I think I covered everybody. If you don't want to shout out, just shout me out in the group. Dashboy 007, shout out to you too. Man, I could go on. Shout all y'all out, man. Shout all y'all. These are the people that support this channel, that support objective information, community building. These people keep it a buck in this group. If you go to the chat, you don't see no disrespecting. You don't see nobody going crazy. Everybody's showing love. Everybody's being respectful. Everybody's contributing. Man, yo, I think this is one of the best platforms that's out there in the community right now. All off solely from the people in this chat, man. Danielle Knox, that's my dude right there. It's helping me improve the production quality of Kingdom Harbinger Ministries. And me and his brother have some project that we have lined up, and we're gonna take things to the next level. So shout out to that brother there. Metayahu Yisrael. Shout out to Metayahu Yisrael. And I think I covered everybody. No, Yehoshua Yisrael. Shout out to Yehoshua Israel. Shalom. I think I covered all y'all. All right, got all y'all. All right, let's get back. Let's get back. Let me show y'all some pictures, some images that I took. I didn't post this on Facebook, so you guys are gonna get it first on here. All right, I'm gonna show you some of these images. Let me see. Where is it at? Where did I put it at? Where did I put these images at? Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Vinoma, shout out to Vinoma. Marquise Bell, shout out to Marquise Bell from Shreveport, Louisiana in the building. All right. Come on, family. Y'all can share this link, man. Get more people in the building. We're about to go into some heavy information before I get off this line. Oh, I found it. All right, I found it. Let me show you these images. All right, I'm gonna start with this image right here. All right, family, hold on. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. So here's one image that I took when we did the Unity Camp in the afternoon on Saturday. What day was that? Saturday was the 12th. All right. All right, here's some images when we was out there in the street. All right. Now, these images was at the event that evening, okay, on the 12th as well, so y'all can see. So now with these pictures, y'all can kind of see the environment we was in, where everybody was seated at. Right, you see Sankofa there in the back doing security, right? Sonetta, that was when I was about to start my presentation. This is let me see. Hold on, why can I change that? Okay, there we go. All right, this is King Simon. All right, so y'all can see more of what's going on here. Okay, let's keep it moving. And as you can see, there was some children in the building. You understand what I'm saying? This is Gamliel Padilla, the brother I was telling you about. This is him right here. It's great support, helping me out. This is Rob Bourne right here. Let's see who else. So you can see. Oh, here's Jabari. Jabari was using Wikipedia, Google, all types of stuff. This is I put it on my Facebook page, right? I was showing people that the reason why Sonetta wanted to change the format is because he wanted Jabari to go last after Jabari was able to peer review everything we put out, and he was allowed time to create new slides on the fly by Googling everything we were saying, going to Wikipedia, taking images off of Google Images, and added them to his PowerPoint presentation. That's why at one point you'll see in his PowerPoint presentation where he's dealing with the sentiment thing that I brought up, you'll see another random slide image attached to that slide. He's like, well, I don't know how that happened. Yeah, we know how that happened, Jabari, because you was doing it on the fly. He ain't slick. That means he didn't give us a chance to cross-examine the information he put up there and be able to have a rebuttal for the things that he said. That's how they set it up. Come on, nobody's stupid. Stop it. Stop it. I made sure I call him with these images, and I posted it on Facebook so y'all can see what was really going on. All right. Oh, shout out to brother Khalid right here. My youngin right here. He's part of NOI. Good brother right there. All right. So look who this? Tommy Sotomayor. Look how close he was sitting to me. I'm sitting here. Anka Ket, the real black atheist, is right here. Tommy Sotomayor is right there. See that? Nobody bothered him. The women were coming up there trying to take images and pictures with him and everything like that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Whatever the case may be. This is me and Asanetta. This is Hashar about to get ready to do his thing. Hashar, his part of his presentation. This is so you can see on this side, the Israelites, you know, we were mostly on the right side, but there's also some Kemetic people in the back. You know, his Monica Lamb back here. Then you have Rob Bourne. You have this brother right here that used to be an Israelite, but now he's part of the Kemetic community. Marawaj up here. A lot of other brothers here. So you see Sankofa over here. This is Ra. This is Ra. This is Sanetta's nephew right here. But this is on that side. So when you see, when you hear a lot of commotion, these are the people that was on that side, right? This is people that was in the front. This image, I didn't realize it came out that blurry, but it's people that was sitting there towards the front. This is when Hashar was going in. We had this image up of Sanetta. Yo, this was hilarious. Yo, Hashar had he has what I call edutainment, man. It was funny as hell watching Hashar, man. I could sit there and watch that dude for hours because that dude is bugged the hell out, but he makes it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Whether his information is right or wrong, he's going to make it so that way you pay attention. All right. Him getting that vocab Malone. This is Jabari again. As you can see, he's on Google on images, pulling images, cutting images, saving images so he can update his PowerPoint. And that's interesting how the picture came out like this. It looks like a filter was applied to it. Can you see that, family? It looks a filter. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. Yeah, that's me catching Jabari, right? This is Brother Reggie doing his warning. The presentation will destroy the Black King James Version, Hebrews and Israelites, right? This is him and Danya Allah with a nice little stare down, right? Now, this picture I took at the end of the video. So when you look at the live stream video, at the end of the live stream video, when all the commotion was going on, there was people in the chat that was like, well, why the live stream got cut off? They thought people was fighting and throwing chairs and doing WWE drop kicks and everything. That's what they thought was going on. And I'm like, man, why do people think that this craziness is going down? You know what I'm saying? Because people like to hype stuff up. They like to romanticize things. They like to be sensational. So I took this picture at the end when we were having a powwow with Sanetta and a couple of people just going over what was going on, clearing up the misunderstandings. And everything was cool. We pieced it out, and everybody went their separate ways. So nobody was fighting. All right, just so y'all know. All right. This is Jabari editing his PowerPoint on the fly while we are giving our presentations. Got him. Got him. Not even paying attention. The whole time he's on his laptop. This is when Hashar was going in. A segment and per segment right there. It's Garfield right here. Sci-Fi right here. Red Pill right here. Sutek in the back. Owen. Kevin on trial part 2. All right, that's enough for that. This was after I think Hashar was done. I don't know. I gotta delete that. Oh, this is me catching Jabari on Google. Look at that. Google. Look at got him. Wait, hold on. I gotta see what y'all saying in the chat room, man. This is crazy. See Jabari? You see Jabari? You see Jabari? Y'all see Jabari? Y'all see Jabari? Okay. Just want to make sure y'all looking at Jabari. Make sure you're looking at that Jabari. All right. See Jabari there? Come on, man. Yo, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Jabari's smart. But if me and him was to sit down, I got stuff in here. I don't need to go. The only reason why I have to showcase references because there is some kind of a way that people in the conscious community don't think that Hebrew Israelites do any kind of academic methodology behind presenting their data. So I have to show all my sources. I cite all my sources, give all my references, and I put it out there for people, because otherwise I may say something, they may think it's pseudo, and I go back and I show them the expert reference behind it, and they can't say nothing. So I always get people on sources. So even when I was sitting down with Jabari, and you'll see this not in the debate, but the footage after the debate, and I asked him about his source for the withdrawal model. He didn't even know the name of the person who came up with the model. He didn't even know he wasn't even familiar with the person who wrote up the article where he was getting this information from. I asked him, you go back and watch that video. I asked him, he didn't know. He said, well, it's an article that I pulled from JSTOR. So I'm like, but who wrote it? He didn't know. So this goes to show that even though he may be well-versed in kemet, when it comes to Levantine and Mesopotamian history, he's not built for that. Me and him can even have a dialogue on kemet alone. But when he comes out of that, he's not built for that. I know he's not built for that. And some of the information he's putting out there, he wanted to rebut on the fly, because either he was unfamiliar with it and he was typing in rebuttals for it, like looking them up on the fly. Why would you have to do that with a community who you don't even believe is that academic? Why would you even need to do that? You shouldn't even have your computer open. You should be able to do it off the dome. But I digress, family. Let's get back to the images. Let's get back to the images. Who else is in here, man? Let me see. Who else need a shout out? Araya Kawal. Shout out to Araya Kawal. Yes, Jabari has a master's degree in Africana Studies from Cornell University, but he has to Google Israelites. Come on, family. Let's stop this. Let's stop this, family. Let's stop this, family. All right. I think I caught everybody. All right. If I see you in the chat, you're getting shout out. The people of the book, shout out to the people of the book, man. Yeah, he was trying to discredit me, but it's fine. You know, he can do whatever he want to do. The information is on the table, family. All my sources that I cite is well-sourced information. I don't cite no pseudo scholars or nothing like that, family. All my sources check. Go back and look at the books that I put up. Look at the articles that I put up. Look at the professors that I reference, PhDs. All my sources check out. So even though somebody may not agree with the interpretation of the data, I'm getting it from an expert witness. I'm getting it from a well-sourced citation. So I don't play when it comes to this, and I have to be this way because people in our community don't think that Israelites, Hebrew Israelites in our community take our studies seriously, and we do, right? We do. All right. So let's get back to those images so you guys can go back and see those images. Just give me a second. Let me bring y'all back so y'all can see. All right. Let's go. Next slide. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, look at Jabari right here. I got so many pictures and videos of him doing that. And wait, I got to give a shout out to Brother Reggie, because Brother Reggie did not take his computer out one time while we was doing this event. Shout out to Brother Reggie. Rob Bourne and Garfield also did not take out their computers one time. Well, actually, that's not true. Garfield and Rob Bourne did look up information that was presented by Hashar, and that they disagreed with, and they spoke on it, and they admitted that they looked it up. Jabari didn't do that. He was dishonest, right? He just gave the presentation as if he had the information already in advance, but we caught him doing it on the fly. But at least Rob Bourne and Garfield admitted that they had got the information when he put the information up, and they wanted to rebut his information. But shout out to them, because they didn't use a computer until the end. Reggie didn't use a computer the whole time he was there. So shout out to Brother Reggie, man. See, that's a real scholar, man. You ain't got to take your computer out. You're supposed to know this stuff. You're supposed to be familiar with your culture so you can respond on the fly. I'll tell people, listen, I'm not familiar with this, but I'm going to go back and research it, and I'm going to come back and rebut or refute the information. That's what real scholars do. But whatever the case may be, you know, whatever. All right, let's go back to more of these images. And this is when everything was getting a little hectic. As you can see, nobody's throwing chairs, nobody's throwing punches, nobody's doing no WWE up in here. None of that's going on, family. You understand? We're just trying to calm the situation down. As people was a little amped up, but nobody was getting harmed. I mean, if stuff was going down, you think certain people would just be sitting down? No, family. There was none of that going on there, so don't let nobody tell you that stuff was going on there. Now, here's a picture of Sa-Neter and Taharka Bey. They were beefing back and forth. But the funny thing was, I was the first person to take a picture of them like this and post it on Facebook so people can see. But it was weird. It was really strange because Taharka Bey was up in there like everything was cool. I don't know if he had any. I think he may have had a couple of people with him. I don't know. But Sanetta's people approached Taharka like they was about to get it, like they was about to pop off on him. But Sanetta approached him first and started dialoguing with him. And they came to Sanetta like, yo, everything good, Sanetta? He's like, yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. And I was like, yeah, let me prove everything's good. Let me take a picture. So they allowed me to take a picture, and I had this picture, and I posted it up on Facebook. So I'm showing you guys this picture. So behind the scenes, ain't nobody trying to kill each other. Even if there's a beef, nobody's putting hands on each other. I just want y'all to understand that, family. Except for Tommy Sotomayor. He's the only person that got hands put on him because he dared somebody to punch him. You know, I mean, you just don't do stuff like that with people you don't know, right? Whether they're going to sucker punch you or not, the bottom line is you dare them to punch you, somebody's going to grow balls and they're going to do it. You know, I don't condone him getting hit, especially in an event where you have women and children at. You feel what I'm saying? If y'all wanted to handle some stuff, do it outside. You feel what I'm saying? But in that event atmosphere where you have elders, women, children, you know, that's not appropriate. That's not appropriate, right? But anyway, I digress. Let's move forward. It's me, Ali Muhammad. This is Tazariak. Baba Heru had custom made him a Star of David chain and was presenting it to him and did a whole little ceremony thing in doing it, right? This is the piece right here that he got for him. This is me filming the people that was there. Right, here's another clearer picture so you can see what's going on. All right, this is Baba Heru presenting a award to Sanetta. Right, this is the piece right here that Baba Heru made for Tazarek. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see. This is the piece that he made. It says "Hi" in the front, and on the back it says "Shalom" on the Star of David. And Baba Heru was trying to do some kind of kemetic ceremony. We was telling people, put your left foot out, put your hands out, and hum after me. Zarek was looking at them crazy. Ankh was looking, you know, Ankh don't believe in none of that. He don't believe in none of that. He said that's pseudo, right? So this is when this is when they're presenting it. This is Ankh and Tazariak. This is him. Look at Sanetta putting his hands out. This is Baba Heru with his Ankh up saying hum hum. I don't know what he was humming. He was humming something, and Ankh is looking like this Negro pseudo. And look at Tad Tazariak's face. He's looking spaced out, like what the hell is going on? And I spoke to him afterwards. He said, "Man, I didn't know whether to run out of there or just to stay there and just act clueless." Yo, it was the funniest thing ever, man. That was funny. When they put the official video out, you'll see for yourself. But yo, Ankh don't believe in that, man. He said this is pseudo. He said this is religious. He don't believe in that. He don't believe in none of that. All right. But nevertheless, it was a very nice gesture by Baba Heru to give these things to those individuals. So shout out to him for that, right? It's Professor Smalls right here. This is so you can see how many people was in here. I'm gonna tell you, family, I have not seen an event of Sanetta's that matched Kemet on Trial. Kemet on Trial had the most people. I mean, everything up here was crowded. Everything down. I mean, Kemet on Trial, there was no seats available, man. That was the biggest debate event, whatever, that I've ever seen Sanetta had, and it had to do with Hebrew Israelites. When we in the building, we're going to pack the house out. You feel what I'm saying? So Sanetta knows that. He knows that, right? Even at a Unity event, it was not packed. Kemet on Trial, it was packed, right? Here's some more images here, right? Some more pictures. This is for those of y'all who are not on Facebook. This is the Zariak, and that's this chain that he got, right? But Baba Heru is me taking a closer picture of it so y'all can see it. Right? This is like towards the end. They put me on a panel discussion. Yo, Sanetta, I came there late, so I'm gonna admit I came there late because I went to bed late working on my presentation. I came there late, but when I got there, my main concern was, oh man, I hope I didn't miss my time. So when I chased Sanetta down, I asked him, so Sanetta, man, you know, do you have me on the itinerary? What's the itinerary? Oh, Devon, you late, man. You missed your spot. I said, I did. He's like, yeah. I said, okay. Well, if I miss my spot, whoever you put in my place, their slot should be available. So just fill me in. Oh, man, I don't know, man. I'm like, yo, stop. Come on, man. Stop playing. He's like, all right. I got you. He never put me on. Never put me on, family. Never put me on. And I felt bad because there were so many people there that wanted real solutions. The only real tangible solution that came out of this event was Dr. Issa being on the panel discussion with me. Now, Reggie looked out for me. Reggie put me on a panel discussion with all these other accomplished elders. He put me up there with them because he felt bad that Sana didn't put me on. You know what I'm saying? But I said, Reggie, it's all good. You know why? Because when I do my lecture on Sunday, people are going to be upset that Sana did not allow me to present it at this event. Because the lecture that I have, I'm telling you, family, once I give you all the information, I'm going to show you how to take over your community. And I'm going to show you examples where it's happening right now today. See, this is what I give people. Out of my Hebrew Israelite paradigm, I'm able to create models that anybody can put forth and to reform their community. Matter of fact, the objective of the lecture I wanted to give at that event on Sunday that I'm going to give this upcoming Sunday has to do with us working together as a collective in order for us to work, you know, similar to an RBG model. This is not taking away from anybody's spiritual system, any difference that we have, but all of the things that we have in common, the common denominators that bind us, we can create a system to resolve those common denominators so we can stay in federated clans and still work together and create our own centralized government at a local level, and we can take over our communities. Family, I'm telling you how to do all of these things. I'm talking about collective politics, collective economics, and collective housing that I do not see being implemented from our communities as much as it should. This is real tangible information that I wanted to give to people that could bring back to their communities and actually take over their communities. This is the information I wanted to give, but I was shorted and I was not even allowed an opportunity to lecture, man. I don't know why, but I think that I'm undervalued in that community. Matter of fact, and this is my honest opinion, I think I'm undervalued, period, right? With the exception of the people that really follow my work. I really think I'm undervalued. You know why? Because I think when I speak, it obliges people to act. Okay, let me put the camera back on my face, man. I need to talk to you for 1 second, family. Let me talk to you for 1 second. Can I have a real talk with y'all, family? Can I have a real talk? Listen, I think when I speak, it obliges people to act. I don't speak for people to react. I speak for people to act. When I give my scholarship, it's for people to act on it, right? When I give my pro-activism, what's the difference from me being a pro-activist as opposed to all these reactionary revolutionaries? A pro-activist is somebody that puts activism in motion, that creates preventive measures to eliminate us having to protest, having us to march, having us to cry and complain. I put out real tangible game plans that if we implement it, it can resolve our social ills like that. And I think the problem with this conscious community is that people are so used to intellectual masturbation that the moment that they're told that you can no longer intellectually masturbate, but all of that energy that you're expensing freely has to be tied with a commitment. And that seed that you're spilling has to be placed somewhere in order to give life. Okay. All right. Let me stop what I'm saying right there. Hopefully some people get it. But I believe that people are afraid that when I speak, it obliges them to act. And people are not prepared to act. Whether it's information that I put forth that's objective in order to raise the frequency of scholarship in the Israelite community, raise the frequency of scholarship in the kemetic community, the conscious community. I also give plans of pro-activism for us to apply that will eliminate a majority of the societal ills that we have in our community. If you go back to my YouTube channel, I have several videos up that deals with nothing but plans that we can implement either at the individual level, the community level, or a nation level for Black people, you know, people of color to implement, to take over their communities, to make a difference, to galvanize support from the international community, to take over their communities at a local level through municipality and corporations. I mean, family, the information that I give is tangible information that you can apply and get results ASAP. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not here just trying to give y'all just information, but not provide solutions, real world, real-time solutions to fix societal ills. That's why I created my debt relief program. That's why I created my naturopathic health program, because these are ills that people suffer. Everybody suffers from these things. And as a leader, as somebody who's conscious with an organization, I have an obligation to alleviate people of these societal ills so they can have a more clear mind when it comes to absorbing this information, so they can edify their inner spirit, their inner man, their inner woman. You understand what I'm saying? So they can get back to knowing self, right? To uplifting self, to catering and serving their communities. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So I think that's what people are really afraid of, that I'm a catalyst for change, whether it's in the realm of scholarship, whether it's in the realm of health, whether it's in the realm of pro-activism. And I think a lot of people are not prepared for that synthesis that's going to force them to change and force them to be obligated to act. I'm a servant before anything else. I'm a student before anything else. I'm a researcher before anything else. Some people call me a scholar. I just say I have scholarship. If they see me as a scholar, fine. Some people call me a leader. I just say I lead in certain areas because a leader is a chief servant. I don't care about these titles. You feel what I'm saying? I just want a broader acclaim so I can bring these solutions on a greater scale, so we can bring more numbers in and we can really build up this autonomous society for ourselves, right? This is the quality of life that we can accomplish in our lifetime. And I'm going to tell you the antagonistic side of that. When I speak to certain older people who've gone through the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and I tell them, hey, we have real solutions to fix problems, the first thing they say to me is, oh, we did that already. So I'm like, so what's your solution? Are we supposed to just be complacent and complain when we see these issues arise and occur in our community, whether it's black on black violence, whether it's drugs, whether it's prostitution, whether it's being shot and killed by the police, whether it's bad health, whether it's lack of political power, whether it's foreclosures? So we just sit and succumb to this, but every other ethnic group around us do not have the staggering numbers or the statistics in regards to their decline and their societal wellness that we have. Am I supposed to just sit back and just supposed to just accept our fate? And they're like, well, you know, I know some people that tried that, and some people are arrested now, some people are dead now, some people, the government. I said, so are you advocating for me to be a coward and not to stand up for my community? Not for me to speak against injustice, not for me to provide a blueprint or plans of action in order to enact change, so that way your environment can be more secure? Well, what do you want me to do? I can't do nothing. I'm not asking you to do anything. All I'm asking you to do is pass the word. You ain't got to leave your house to pass the word on. The more people that we have on the front line, the more secure you can feel in your home. I'm on the front line, family. I deal with frontline soldiers and people that's out in the fields. You know, even the brothers that's on the corners preaching, that's the front line, family. Even people that's doing activism, whether they protesting, marching, whether boycotting, whether they're lobbying, that's the front line. Whether they enacting programs in the community to fix issues and to help mentor the youth or the brothers that's incarcerated, that's the front line. The more people we have on these front lines, the less things we got to worry about, because the oppressor is playing upon keeping our people distracted, entertained, and giving them a sense of liberty, right? Excuse me, a sense of freedom in the form of liberty. They keep them docile and complacent, and they drink their fluoride waters and they brush their teeth with fluoride and just keep their mind docile, and to overwhelm them with all of these ills that's happening in society and making them feel like they can't make a difference. I can't live like that. I can't sleep like that. At one point in my life, I turned a blind eye to it. Once I got awoken to what's going on back in 2012, going into 2014, I said, I cannot sit on my butt no more and allow this to happen. I have to do something. And who am I, family? I'm not accomplished in no way. I'm not even a college graduate, right? I'm not no celebrity, right? I'm not nobody with no outstanding skills or anything. I'm just one person that says, what can I do to serve the community, using whatever bit of intelligence, heart, and compassion that I have for my people to be able to fix their problems, right? I hate complaints. I don't mind somebody venting a complaint, but the next thing after the complaint is over, I'm saying, let's resolve this. As a counselor, when I was counseling in the Christian church, with my own Israelite organization, I'm a counselor. I let people vent. I let people have an opportunity to reflect their emotions, their feelings, and their complaints and their concerns. And I say, well, now that that's out the way, how are we going to resolve this issue, right? Because I have a genuine love for my people. So it burdens me, it hurts me when I see that people stay trying to blindside me, short-side me, sidetrack me, distract me, try to get me engaged in controversy, when these people are only acting out of selfish ambition and they're not thinking about their community as a whole. That's why self-actualizing the situation, I'm objective enough not to feed into that, even after being slighted. See, it was one thing seeing what happened on Saturday. It was another thing being slighted on Sunday for me giving an actual plan of action to that audience that came there for a solution. Senator used me to promote the event, and he asked a lot of people to participate in promoting the event. I promote the event. About at least 10 to 20 people came there to listen to me speak, and I was not allowed to speak. It wasn't a priority enough to let Divine speak. See that, family? And then when I got on that panel, right, everybody else on that panel is well accomplished, got degrees, and then all these different things. I'm the only one that's sitting there that has a meager resume, right? But when they announce me, you know, I don't get a lot of applause, and I'm all right with that. And I think that's mostly because there's a misconception about what my assignment, what my mission is, right? People think that I'm a religiously dogmatic person because that's the way it's presented on that platform. But that's not the case. You know, I bring solutions. I bring awareness, right? Along with scholarship, right? I don't have to curse nobody out, disrespect nobody, put nobody on blast to put the truth out there. I let the truth do it for me. Or I let the truth be a witness against those people, family. So we have to really look at the people that are really have a heart of compassion for our community, and we have to put those people on platforms so they can be heard. The people that are modest, people that are humble, people that only want to serve and build the community, even at their own expense of their life, of their well-being, of the lack of sleep. Family, I don't sleep much because I'm putting in this work. But when you guys see this presentation, I'm gonna announce it as soon as I finish going through the pictures. Hopefully you'll be equally as upset along with me that audience and that platform that has 112,000 subscribers and get millions of views every year were not made privy to information that can immediately resolve their social ills. When you go back to the last 10, 12 videos Senator put out, especially the videos with that debate, people kept asking, well, how's this going to fix anything? How's this going to fix anything? How is this going to fix anything? When I saw them, I said, you know what? I'm going to get my opportunity on Sunday to show people that me showing this scholarship information is one thing, but me actually giving you a game plan to immediately solve your issues if we work together collectively. I don't care what you subscribe to personally. Collectively, we share the same common denominator, societal ills in our community. My plans forces us to work together as a collective unit in order to absolve the societal ills so that we can then enjoy going back into our independent tribes and building ourselves via our subscriptions. But when I was slighted for that, I said to myself, I love Sonetta, but I see how his platform is biased towards me, so I'm going to take a break from that. But I have to now rely upon the people that support my platform to assist in helping me to expand it, so I won't have any need to go back on that platform to present anything. And if I do, it's when I'm respected enough to put the information out there. But that community needs to see an individual like me only wants to fix your problems. And even when I give you scholarship, it's to open you up to the other services that I can offer you to fix your community, to fix your family, to fix you. You know, you understand what I'm saying, family? And this is me just giving you heart-to-heart real talk. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm going to leave that alone. Let me show you all the rest of these images. But stay tuned for Sunday. This Sunday, I'm going to do the video. I'm going to try to put it out if I don't make too many errors because I'm a perfectionist. So I can just easily put videos out, but I have to go and edit it because I'm a perfectionist. I'm hard on myself than anybody else. But I want this video to be out at least by Monday so you guys can see a real solution that's going to fix ills, man. I'm telling you, we implement this program. I mean, I thoroughly looked through certain things and found ways around certain things that I'm going to share with you guys that we can utilize to fix. The last video I did in regards to solutions was called Globalizing Black Power. That is a powerful video, and I still have yet to see anybody really in a conscious community top that. Some people have plans of action that are similar, but I've yet to see anybody top that solution that I actually provided for the community that we can still access today, right? So anyway, let me get to the chat. Let me see what y'all saying. Let me finish these pictures in. Let me tell y'all the lectures that I have going on. All right, so family, those of y'all who was asking me, inboxing me, y'all can still do the super chat if y'all want to donate. If you go to the chat, you'll see the name of your channel. Underneath it, it'll say something. Underneath that, you'll see a smiley face and you'll see a dollar sign. You can click on a dollar sign if you actually want to donate. Click on this super chat. And in the super chat, you can actually donate any amount that you see fit. You know, so if you guys want to donate immediately, you can do it through that route, through the super chat. You can go to www.gofundme.com/Kingdom Harbinger if you want to do a GoFundMe chat. If you want to send it via PayPal, my PayPal email address is kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. And when the Patreon site goes live, you guys can go in there and be monthly patrons to keep this ministry going, to keep this platform going. Because like I said, family, it's not about me, it's about you guys. And when I do my featurette series on this platform, I'm going to be actually bringing more of y'all in so people can know what you guys have going on that can proactively move the community in a better direction than what it's in currently. All right. So let me see. Adaya Yisrael, thank you for the super chat donation. I appreciate that. I'm just going back to look up to see what you guys have up here. So I want to pay attention to your voices. You know what I mean? All right, cool. Just make sure you're playing nice in there. Cool. And you see, you know, you can tell the character and the motive behind people on these platforms, the way that they promote unity, the way that they promote respect, the way that they give respect. And I want the environment in the chat and any group that I am to be an environment that's conducive for people walking in for the first time and not coming into crossfire, or walking in where people are sharing information, even with their disagreements. They're not disrespecting each other. They're not doing anything crazy like that. And those are the type of environments or the type of energy that I want to bring on my platform and dealing with other people as well. You feel what I'm saying, family? So let's get through the rest of these images. Let me go ahead and share this so I can show y'all the rest of these images. And going to the lectures that I have coming up. And I'm going to share a little bit of information. Then I'm going to get off because it's already been almost 2 hours. I think almost 2 hours. Yes, I started at 1 o'clock, 1:30, 1:45, something like that. So it's almost 2 hours. I don't want to make it too long. So after I show you this, I'm probably going to do another 30 minutes and then I'm going to get off. All right. So let me show you these images real quick. All right. So here's more of the images. This is at the end of the event. Now, while we was up there on this platform, this is me. I'm actually sitting on the stage taking this picture. While we was up there, you'll see the sister right here, right? The sister right here with the pink thing on her head. She's actually looking back. During this moment here is when all that commotion with Tommy Sotomayor was going on, right? So I was able to see it from a distance, and it was so loud. I was able to hear some of what's being said, but I was not actually physically there while it was going on. I was actually caught up in the aftermath when brothers were trying to bring some heat, you know, some real firepower into that venue because they was feeling disrespected. It didn't happen, but brothers was about to do that. And it had to be de-escalated so that way it could have been avoided. But because Tommy Sotomayor called the police and prevented any type of energy from escalating even further, because he called the police, right? But anyway, so here's another image. You know, as you can see, see back here, this is where all that commotion was going on back here. I took a picture. I didn't even realize what was going on back here, right? And this is after after he was assaulted. He came. They escorted him out and escorted him back up here. They brought him by the DJ booth so they can secure him and protect him. And I took a picture of him while he was up there, right? Let's see. Here's a picture with me and Sakari, me and Brother Maurice, me and Inky. Inside joke. Y'all know why I took this picture, right? Inside joke. Those who have been following us, y'all know why I took this picture, right? Me and Baba, me and Jasmia. She's actually a jazz musician. She's a singer. You can look her up. Me and Sekhmet, Empress Sekhmet. Me and Q Butter. Now this was after the event. This is Shabazz, brother Shabazz, that be going in on people in the conscious community, and this is Gorilla Hebrew. That's me in the picture with them. That's all of us right there. Is this the video? Okay. So wait, let me show y'all this video, right? I didn't put this video out yet. So at this point, Tommy was assaulted. They de-escalated the situation. They removed the brothers that had the problem with him. They brought him back into the venue. He went up there to the DJ booth, right? And you'll see, if you go to Tommy Sotomayor's channel, he has the full video of all of this. And you'll see me in his video towards the end when he's leaving out, right? He's recording it while he's leaving out. You'll see me on the left side, right? As he's leaving out towards the back, right? So at this moment, it's only 20 seconds. He had stepped to Sekhmet, Empress Sekhmet. Now, she was trying to calm the situation down, trying to protect the brother so nothing would happen to him, because she was going to do a question and answer with him on the stage in front of everybody. And they was going to address all of his views. So she didn't want the brother to leave or anything like that. So she tried to protect the brother. But at this point, Tommy had already called the cops. He was already feeling uncomfortable, and he was already leaving. So he didn't want to stay. And when you watch this video, you'll see it. But I captured 20 seconds. And the reason why I recorded this, I don't know how I recorded it on time, but I wanted you guys to hear me repeat what Sekhmet Empress said in regards to a black woman protecting this man who has issues with black women, right? And the interesting thing was, if you go back on Tommy Sotomayor's channel, where he's debriefing what went down and he's critiquing Q Butter, Q Butter said, oh, you made all these videos about Empress Sekhmet. He said, I don't even know who that is, blah, blah. Somebody, part of his audience, sent him a video of Empress Sekhmet. He watched it, and he said, this is the woman right here. Started saying, yeah, she's going to telling people it's open season on crackers and go and shoot these police priests and stuff. He said, man, she deserved what she got, blah, blah. It was very ironic because the same person that Tommy Sotomayor was talking bad about in his debriefing, that he didn't even know who the sister was, actually prevented the other brothers from attacking him. Why? Because when they see a black woman in front of a black man, even though they're mad and upset, they're going to back down. So what you're going to see here in this footage here, you'll hear it in Tommy's video, but I'm actually going to show you where she says something to him, and I repeat what she said. So forgive me because I curse in here. So I'm gonna just preface that with saying that I cursed in here, but I cursed because I was just repeating what she said, and I was emphasizing, I was being very emphatic so that he understood the nature of what occurred, right? So I'm gonna play this for y'all, right? So check it out, family. I'll play it for y'all. So this is Tommy talking to Empress Sekhmet, and she's like, man, yo, can you stay? I still want to do the interview. He said, nah, I'm leaving. You know, I feel my life is being threatened, and y'all doing this, and that. She said, come on, Tommy, come on. Can you see? He said, nah. So that's what they're talking about, right? So keep watching. Now watch. Hey, Tommy. Remember, it was a black woman that saved your bleep, nigga. Remember that. And if you look at Tommy, he's looking crazy. Hold on. Look, family. Look at Tommy. Hold on. Let me see if I can get Tommy. Wait, hold on. He's all the way over there. He's standing there looking at her crazy, like he's like, you're right. But then goes back and makes a video talking crazy about the sister. You understand what I'm saying? But whatever. Let's move forward. I think I played this already. Yeah, and these are some other images, but this is all the images from the event. I think these are duplicate images. All right, so that's that. Let's stop that. All right, I don't think I need this right now. All right, family, so let me go over y'all the next lectures that I have coming up, so that way y'all can see and be prepared. This Sunday, y'all willing, I'm going to put out the lecture that I promoted on Facebook and on Instagram. For those of you who do not follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to y'all so y'all can see what it is. Shout out to Tanika West. Thank you, Tanika, for donating as well. I truly appreciate that. That sister's part of Kingdom Harbinger Ministries, so I appreciate her doing that as well. Yes, I agree. Reliable Andrew, she had her own incentive for protecting Tommy. But regardless, even though she didn't agree with him, she could have still said, yo, set it off for him. Yo, it's open season on him. She could have said that. And being that these black men were encouraged by this black woman who they see as one of many leaders in the community, they could have went popped off on her. I mean, popped off on him. So yeah, she had her own motive for saying that. But regardless, she put herself in the middle of crossfire when brothers was pushing up and trying to attack him. You understand what I'm saying? So you're right. I agree with you. But still, she could have just stepped back and say, yo, whatever, I don't care. You know, but again, family, you'll see the commotion happening at these events. So I'm just going to back off myself for a little bit, build my platform, go on other platforms that are serious about change and differences in the community. I'm gonna be doing lectures at universities and academia. I'm gonna expand it more. I should have been doing that at the middle of last year, going into this year, but other things occurred. But going into next year in 2018 is going to be a different approach that I'm taking, and I'm just gonna just slowly remove myself from this community that I feel does not value the work that I put out. You know, with the exception of you guys and the people that do follow this platform, I don't think that community values the solutions and the scholarship that I bring to the table, you know, and I believe that's why they cut me short, because what I present obliges them to act, and they're not built for that, right? It's just a show for a lot of them. All right. So let me show y'all some of these lectures that's coming up. So this Sunday, I have a lecture coming up. I'm going to show you the front of the slide so y'all can see. Just give me a second. Let me bring it up. Right. Let me bring all three of them up. Where's the other one? All right, give me a second, family. Give me a second. While I'm doing this, y'all let me know. Yes, I agree, Deborah. They have a different ruach. I do agree. I do agree. And I'll probably take a question or two from y'all towards the end as well. But anyway, I'm gonna try to. Let me see. They're loaded. Okay, this loaded up. All right, and let me get the third one. Hold on, family. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, got him. All right, so let me show this to y'all. Let me share my screen. All right, family. So what I'm about to show y'all is the next 3 PowerPoints that I'm going to be doing on my channel. There's another. I'm going to be teaching on a Shabbat service. I don't even know what I'm going to be teaching on. I think I got to do it next week. So I'm probably going to be booked as far as studying and stuff like that. But I really do need to take a break. Me and my family really do need to take a break. And I have that planned for September. So I'm trying to finish all of this before it's time for us to take our break, because I don't want to really focus on too much work when you're taking a vacation or taking a much needed break, right? So I want to get all this out the way now, because sometimes you got to spend a lot of time and invest in sacrificing now so you can enjoy yourself later on. So I'm continuously trying to build this foundation so other people can stand on it and they can take it and take it to new heights, you know, because it may not be my destiny to take it to new heights, whatever. People may not understand it now, but later on they'll get it. You know what I mean? But here's the next, because I know people have been asking, here's the next 3 lectures that I have planned that I'm going to do for you guys. Now, these lectures, I'm not doing an event for these lectures, right? One of them is really like a seminar-based lecture that I do from time to time for consultation purposes or just for seminars if I get asked to do it. But the reason why I'm going to do these on my channel so that you can actually see the slides, right? Because I know a lot of people ask me for my slides. All my slides are available for download to people who subscribe to the website, which is not up at this moment. When the website goes back up, to those who subscribe to it, you get full access. Or even people who are Patreon, who signs up for my Patreon site, you get full access to all my articles that I've written. You get full access to my PowerPoint presentations, And I even give you access to part of my library of documents and PDFs and all types of stuff. So people who become Patreons and people who subscribe to the website, they will get access to all these things, right? But the reason why I'm doing these next 3 lectures on my channel is because I want y'all to be able to see the PowerPoints, just like I did for Crows on the Straw Man. That I still want to redo that PowerPoint. I'm still considering whether I want to do it again or not. And it got a lot of people that watched it too. But I want to do it. I want to do these on this channel so you guys can see each slide, right? So you can actually follow me, right? And that way I can take my time when I speak. I don't have to speak Russian a mile a minute. I can take my time, go through the information. Y'all can read the slides along with me. And that way it'll be more impactful for you guys, all right? So that's why I want to do these next 3 PowerPoints on my channel, okay? So let me go ahead and show y'all what these are. So the first one is, oh, it's not even showing that one. Hold on. Okay. So here's the first one, right? The first one is Unity Through Autonomy, a unique approach to collective politics, economics, and housing for the Black community by Divine Prospect. All right. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you guys some information. Whoops. I'm going to show you guys some information in this lecture that you guys can apply to your community to take it over, right? And I'm going to show you guys some examples of this actually working and some improvements, some improvements in the form of suggestions that I give to make it more refined, more well-rounded, and more failure-proof, right? Because nothing's 100%, you know, and everything is dedicated to the devotion of the people that apply it and their willingness to commit to each other to work together, right? But this lecture right here is very powerful. As you can see, it's about 49 slides. All the slides don't have information, but it's 49 slides. I'm going to go through the information for you guys, and I guarantee you guys are going to enjoy this, right? This is what I wanted to present at the Unity conference that they did not give me the time to present. But hopefully once I share this, you guys will blast this lecture everywhere on the internet. So that way we can take over our community. This is a game plan on how to take back your community, okay? So that's that lecture right there, all right? So the next one that I'm doing is this one here. And that one that I just showed you, I'm a Yah willing, I'll do that this Sunday. The next one is this one here, the one that a lot of y'all have been requesting. It's called Getting Under Your Skin, Understanding the Root Causes of Eczema and How to Resolve Them. So I'm gonna try to do this one next week Sunday, not this coming Sunday, which is technically tomorrow, which I'm gonna do the other one I just showed you. But either the following Sunday or 2 Sundays from this Sunday, I'm going to knock this one out and get this one out because a lot of people has been asking me about this. And as you can see, it's 112 slides, family. It's a lot of information. But I'm going to knock it all out. And this is also going to be featured on my YouTube channel, Natural Path to Eden. So if you guys have not subscribed to Natural Path to Eden, please subscribe, because as soon as I put out this PowerPoint, there's going to be loads of videos only dealing with naturopathic health on that channel. And I'm telling you guys, you're going to definitely appreciate it, because it's not just going to be me speaking on there. It's going to be several people from the community, whether it's the conscious community, the Israelite community, that's going to be presenting their paradigms towards health, right? So it's going to be there for the community. And this program that I have towards naturopathic health consultation will then develop into a healthcare program, an alternative healthcare program. And I'm going to do a whole lecture on it. And I'm going to show you guys how it works, how you can buy into it, how you can support it, how you can benefit from it. I'm creating a healthcare program, an alternative healthcare program for our community, because it doesn't exist. But we're going to create this. Me and a couple of other constituents and associates who are working with me, we're going to create an alternative healthcare program for the community. See, this is the type of stuff that I'm really focused on, right? Fixing the community. This is the type of stuff that this ministry is about. Prepping the people for a kingdom that's to come. You cannot prep, the people can't be prepared for a kingdom if they're not autonomous, if they're still leeching onto the society, if they're sick, right? If they're in debt, All these things are going to cause people to continue to yearn after the oppressor to fix their issues, and they're going to miss when the coming kingdom is going to be established on earth for our people. So the people have to be prepared before these things occur, all right? Because prophecy's playing out day by day, family, all right? But yes, I'm going to definitely take care of this. Because a lot of people's been asking about that. And again, I show you the majority of the root causes and give you a majority of the solutions in order to reverse this condition, to resolve this condition. And all you got to do is commit to what's been given, to the solution that's given in here. But this lecture is also designed to prompt a consultation that I will do, where I will customize a plan that will cater to people with certain degrees of severity in regards to this illness, whether they have children that have it, whether they themselves suffer from it. Everybody can benefit off of this. Please support this lecture. I'm going to post it up for $4.99 or $5 because this is 4 years of research, blood, sweat, and tears, and putting this together, doing independent research to interviewing and dealing with dermatologists. I mean, there's so much information that I put into here. I have not shared this anywhere. I use this information to give consultations behind, and I'm willing to reveal it to the community. And for the hard-on work that I put behind this, the funds for doing this, whether it's my consultation sessions or now presentations, those funds are going to go towards building this alternative healthcare program, as well as supporting the ministry. So this video is going to be available for $4.99 or $5, but I'm telling you, it's worth every cent. And for a seminar like this, when I did about 2 seminars like this, you know how much it costs to get into that seminar? $100 to get into that seminar, right? And it's not because I created the seminar. I was asked to be a guest speaker at the seminar. It costs $100+ to get into these seminars to get this type of information. And I'm releasing it to the public for $5, right? And I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. It's worth every penny, all right? So that's this one. The previous one on autonomy that I'm doing, that one is not going to be no cost to that one, all right? There's not going to be that one. You guys can view for free when it goes up. The one in regards to eczema, that will be a rental fee of $5 or $4.99. You can watch it over 72 hours and complete it. And if you want to purchase it as well, let me know, and I can give you guys the DVD for it, all right? So you guys can get the DVD of it. Now, the last one that I'm going to do was the one that I didn't finish this Saturday, that a lot of people had asked me to debut on my channel and go through the slides. So it's this one here, The Closet of Skeletons Hidden by Kemetic Romanticism, all right? So I'm going to do this lecture here. This is going to be the one I'm going to do right after I do the health lecture. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to add, as you can see, it's 56 slides. I'm probably going to add maybe 9 more slides with 3 or 4 more bits of information from my 300 slide PowerPoint presentation. And I'm going to go through all of these points, and I'm going to explain why I'm showcasing these various points, right? And why it's important, all right? So those are the lectures that I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks for you guys, okay? All right. So with that being said, I was just debriefing, gave a heart-to-heart, showed y'all some images from the past weekend, debriefing from the past weekend, giving y'all a heart-to-heart on why I'm doing this and why it's a shame that people are, I mean, they're just not catering to my presence, not in the form of treating me like I'm somebody important, but treating the information that I have to bring as something that's crucial that can change our community. And to those of you who has followed me, all you got to go through and is look from the first video I posted on Facebook all the way to now, and you'll see the effort that I put in trying to raise the bar of scholarship and also provide solutions for our community, right? Because I'm serious about serving. It's not a game for me, right? And then I showed you guys pretty much the lectures that I have coming up. They're not going to be, none of these lectures that I'm showing you guys are going to be live because I don't want any interruptions, distractions. I just want to shoot it and post it up for you guys. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll do follow-up. I'll do follow-up sessions after in case you'll have any questions. I'll do a Q&A with you. For all these lectures, I'm going to set up a live Q&A so you can ask questions after you've watched it, and I can respond back, you know, for you guys, okay? So with that being said, I'm about to end off because it's getting late. I have about 11 minutes. If y'all have any last minute questions or statements that you want to post that you want me to speak on real briefly, let me know. And then I'm out of here. All right. Alexa.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Really,
Take
Alexa?
a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Man, so I got the Echo Dot here. I was given to me as a gift from my dad, and it's really cool. But she loses Wi-Fi a lot, so I'm gonna get her back online as soon as I hang up with you guys. But one thing that I will say, and I wish she was live, because I asked her. I said, "Are you spying on me?" And she says, when you say a certain keyword, they relay all that data back to Amazon, which is very, very interesting. So these devices, these Echo Dots, these Google Homes, these devices are designed to actually spy on you. They collect data. Just like your phone, even when your phone is off, your phone is still actively listening and collecting data on you. Nothing on your phone is private unless you have a black phone. Black phone, you have a private phone, right? And there's other ways you can surf the internet anonymously, right? And I've given that information out before. But all of these things are designed to create a virtual profile of you. So at any given time, the powers can get voluntary information that you've given to them in a form of technology, and they can use it against you. So family, just be aware that technology is a blessing and a curse, and that everything that you use, whether it's a webcam, whether it's a microphone, whether it's an Echo Dot, whether it's your cell phone, whether it's your tablet, whether it's your TV, whether it's anything, something's always listening to everything that you're saying, right? So try to find covert ways of meeting up and sharing information in the event that all this technology is taken away from us. Learn how to live off the land, learn how to communicate without modern technology in the event that it's all stripped from you. And you need an alternative means of communicating with each other. And you can avoid giving a free profile information. Same thing with Facebook. Facebook doesn't allow you to delete a profile. Why? Because when you sign up for Facebook, you agree to that in a fine print to give them information that they collect on you. All right. So just be mindful of that, family. All the technology you have, be mindful that anything could be watching you at any given time, listening to you at any given time, spying on you at any given time, getting surveillance of you at any given time. Just be aware of that, family. All right. And I'm gonna talk more of that in the future. I'll do a video on that, or I'll go more in depth on that. All right. So you guys are aware of that. All right. So with that, family, I think I'm done for sharing tonight. I'm a little tired, so I don't really have no information planned to show y'all tonight. If the webcam and audio is good, hit 1. Like I said, I bought a new webcam, the Logitech Brio 4K Pro webcam. I just purchased that earlier today. I'm still using my Snowball Ice Blue microphone with that. So if the audio and video is in sync, if it's on point, and if it's good quality, please, I want y'all to hit 1. When I get my other broadcasting software back up and running, I'll be streaming in 1080p at 30 frames per second, right? So I can enhance the quality. Also, I'm going to have my logo on it as well, and I could do captions and everything like that. So I'm going to improve my broadcasting method to give you guys better quality for those of y'all who support and those of you who enjoy the content on this channel. And shout out to my brother, Daniel Knox, man. You know, that brother, he really came in and say, yo, I just want to serve and I just want to help you, brother. And he realized that the production quality for this channel could be even better. The production quality for my lectures can be even better. So he stepped up to a plate out of his own pocket, and he's willing to assist with doing that. So by the time of the fall into next year, when you see the enhanced production quality, he's one of the main individuals responsible for that. And he likes to play the background, so I'm not going to put him on blast like that. You know what I'm saying? But I want you guys to shout him out when you see the improved quality, and it's because of his work right there. All right. And anything else, everybody else as a part of the organization, they've also helped as well. And I love to shout them out. I may not put their image or their picture out there or have them speak, because sometimes they may not want to be in the forefront, but I make sure I get credit where credit is due. Right. So I have another 6 minutes. I'm gonna take a question or two, and then I'm signing out for today. Next Freestyle Friday that I do, I'm gonna try to do it every 2 weeks. I'm gonna do a Freestyle Friday. So if you want to know when is the next Freestyle Friday, just look at the date that's posted and count 2 weeks. 2 Fridays from there, and you'll know that that's the next Freestyle Friday. So every 2 weeks, I'm gonna do Freestyle Friday. I can't do it every week, but every 2 weeks I'll do a Freestyle Friday. All right. So let's see. Let me see what y'all saying. Sean Fleming, I think he's bouncing, so I'm gonna say Layla Tova. Good night to that brother. Shawnee says, I have 3 questions for you. Look up, please. Nisi's PC says, I'm going to ask you next week. Okay, sis. Shalom, no problem. Reliable Andrew say, I appreciate your time and efforts, Brother Divine. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Everybody hit 1, so the quality is good. I'm glad. I went out and spent almost $200 on this camera, family, because I wanted to give y'all good quality. And when I set up my other program that I paid for to do the broadcasting with 1080p, 30 frames per second, with my logo, captions, and animations and stuff, it's because of everybody that support. All your donations that you give me go towards me investing in new equipment and also contracting people out to help build this platform so it can be better able to serve you guys. All right. Dale H says, get some rest. You appreciate my commitment. I appreciate that. Anunnaki says, always cover your webcam when you're not using it. Yes, I agree. DCPC was talking about Geico and roadside assistance. Yeah, Kylie said, look at Devon flexing with Alexa. Yeah, I just got this a week ago or 2 weeks. Prior to that, I didn't have it. But it's interesting because it makes things more accessible. You don't have to really type nothing in. You just speak it. She'll set alarms for you. She'll do the Uber for you. You can ask, why is the sky blue? She'll explain it to you and stuff like that. But she has to be connected to the internet. Sometimes she'd be disconnected. She'd be mad disrespectful sometimes. Yeah. Deborah says, what's a black phone? Google it. You'll see what a black phone is. It's a phone that has removed any way of any carrier or anybody that creates the OS from retrieving information from you. So it's a pretty much discrete, secured phone. And it has end-to-end encryption when making calls and stuff like that. So definitely look into that. DC's pieces, tell us your thoughts on the Star of David or the Shield. I'm not a subscriber or proponent to the Star of David. From my research, that symbol was introduced to Sephardic Jews by the Moors, who came from the east and settled in the Iberian Peninsula in North Africa and the Iberian Peninsula, where they mixed with the Sephardic Jews. And then the Sephardic Jews then took that symbol, and after their expulsion, or after they've been excommunicated from the Iberian Peninsula, they brought that symbol into their Judaic communities, whether that's in West Africa, the Ashkenazim adopted it from the Sephardim, etc. So that's my stance on that. We don't, from my research in pre-exilic ancient Israel, we don't have any artifacts with the Shield of David on it. Even in the sites that we believe that are Judite sites from the 10th century where Dawid would have been in existence, we don't see that symbol anywhere. Some people say that symbol is a symbol that was on a ring that Solomon had in a piece of literature called the Testament of Solomon, and he used that ring to conjure up spirits and to ask your spirits, who are they, what's their mission, and what angel frustrates you, and use that ring to assert power over them to assist with building the temple. So some people say that was a symbol that's on that ring. Some occultists use that same symbol as a means of conjuring up spirits. Those of you who don't know what a sigil is, S-I-G-I-L, look it up. Please be careful with this. It's a demonic, quote unquote demonic symbol that's used in order to invoke the presence of a deity or entity. And it's very dangerous, and I've seen it work. I know how to do it, and I've seen it work. So I stay away from that, and I encourage other people to stay away from that as well. But the so-called Shield of David, that symbol has been used as a means of invocation to call for certain spirits as well. All right. So some people say it's the Shield of David, it's the name Dawid, intertwined and so forth. So people come up with their own philosophy behind the star and have their reasons for wearing it. Me, I don't wear it. I don't wear it because it's not part of the ancient pre-exilic culture, and it doesn't represent anything that I personally stand for. So sometimes you may see me wear a necklace with a black fist on it because that has to do with black nationalism, black empowerment, and that's what I'm about. I have a new chain that has red, black, and green in the flag because That's what I'm about. I used to wear a chain that had the continent of Africa on it because that's my Pan-Africanism mindset and my solidarity. These are all modern conventional ideas that I have, but these things represent who I am, right? And represent what I'm about. But also when it comes to the Most High, it's me having the mitzvot written on my heart and being able to apply what it is that I learn and what I read, not just what I know, right? So if people want to know the evidence of my walk with Yah and my representation of Yah, it's me being able to practically apply the mitzvot, which is the law, statutes, the commandments today, right? Let me see. Oh, Deborah asked me to check my email for some requests. Yes, so I'm going through all the requests, family. I get a lot of requests. So if I haven't gotten to you yet, I apologize. Just send me a reminder and I'll get to it. I know there's a lot of people who I still have to get back to or assign somebody to get back to. So we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Shawnee says, brother, you didn't get back to me on my mother's people from the Cherokee Nation question I asked you on last Freestyle Friday. Shawnee, we're going to talk about that. She asked what the asthma lecture. The asthma lecture is coming up after the atopic dermatitis lecture. So after I finish that lecture, I'm going into asthma. After I deal with asthma, then I'm going to allergies, which is interrelated to atopic dermatitis, eczema, and asthma. But I'm going to go into one of allergies, show you guys what allergies is and how to combat allergies. And then for me, I'm going to go into diabetes, cancer, AIDS, HIV, and show you guys the root of it, how to reverse it, etc. like that. Remember, I'm not saying I have a cure, and I'm going to be very careful in saying I have a cure. I don't practice medicine. I'm not a physician. This is all for educational purposes only, and I have to give that preface and that disclaimer. Otherwise, the FDA can get involved. So we don't need the FDA getting involved with naturalistic, holistic healing. So I'm not telling you guys I'm curing anything. I'm educating you to give you the tools and you apply them yourselves and get the results that you yield. All right. The Star of David is an emblem of secret societies. Khalid, yes, you're right. A lot of Masons wear the Star of David, just like the Masons have the crescent moon and the sword as well. They also use certain passages from the scripture when they open and close their Masonic sessions in the Blue Lodge as well. I need help. My skin issues for sure. I got bad eczema. Ayash Hawad, just hit me up, inbox me on Facebook, or email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Because even though I didn't do the lecture yet, I still do consultations. So email me. Matter of fact, I'll put my email in a group again. All right, so y'all can email me if you want a one-on-one consultation. We can either do it by phone. We can either do it video conference. It's up to you, however you want the consultation, but just email me and I can do the consultation with you. But when I give the PowerPoint presentation, it'll give you enough information for you to go and resolve it on your own. But if you want a more customized and personal regimen for applying the solutions, then I can give you that consultation. I'll look at your medical reports, I'll assess it, see the severity of your condition, and tell you which solutions best cater to your condition. All right. Same thing with asthma, same thing with allergies, same thing with HIV, same thing with AIDS, same thing with cancer, same thing with diabetes. If you got any of these diseases or know anybody with diseases and you need help or assistance with that, email me at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com or email naturalpathtoeden@gmail.com, because that's really the wing of the ministry that deals with health. All right. Yes, you know the lecture I'm waiting on. I got you. Going to the Star of David. I touched on that. All right. Let me scroll down. All right. Let me see. What else y'all saying in here? Black seed oil. Yes, black seed oil is like, man, that thing has so many benefits. But in regards to eczema, people who like me, I suffer from dichondrosis, which is a hand eczema, and it's a very stubborn ailment, right? That I'm still trying to perfect on how to get rid of, like I did my regular eczema. But you know, I'm gonna get rid of it. I've seen that there's a hand cream that had black curcumin oil, black seed oil in it. And black seed oil, you'll see in my lecture, has actually been tried in the lab, and it actually has in vivo and in vitro and in vivo results in regards to hand eczema. And I've used it and it's helped tremendously, but I still have not resolved it entirely because it's a different type of ailment than regular eczema. So I'm still working on that to perfect the solution. I just haven't had enough time to dedicate or devote to that. But when I pull away from doing my contracting job 10 hours a day, because I do 10 hours a day of work, contracting job. So it's not like I'm sitting here doing what I'm teaching you guys 24/7. I'm working towards that point. But when I get to that point of working 24/7, when I can get enough people to patronize the ministry, and that way I can work for you guys, then I will have more time to devote to other studies, other lessons, and other research. So that way I can help resolve societal ills for you guys. All right. But I'm working on that. But yes, black seed oil, that's in my lecture. I'm going to go into the properties of it, etc., and how it works. And I'm going to explain that for you guys there. Rodrigo said, anything on going bald? Yes, there's a lot of things that can assist with growing bald. We have what's called male pattern baldness, which dermatology will tell you there's nothing you can do for that. There are some things that you can apply for that. I have some regimens for it, but I have not perfected one yet because, again, I have not had enough time to do the research on it. But again, when I do this 24/7 with the help of you guys patronizing this ministry and supporting it monthly with your donations, I'll be able to resolve and answer any questions you guys give me. You know what I'm saying? And I'll make sure I take time out to do so and personalize it for the people that are making the request. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Josh Schubas asked me my take on the Fulani. I'll probably do a post on that on Facebook and tell you my perspective on the Fulani. So the Fulani have joined themselves to the Hausa, who are not Hebrews but Aboriginal Japhites. I'll go into that for you guys as well. Also looking at their language, the linguistic phylum is a good way to trace their ethnogenesis, right? Which is important as well. Shoni says her nephew has asthma really bad. Now, asthma has to do, again, it's an allergy. And all allergies, like I showed y'all on this whiteboard here. Hold on, let me pull my whiteboard back up. So, on this whiteboard, if you can see, you'll see here how I'm showing y'all that all allergies is part of type 1 hypersensitivity, right? And it happens because there's an abnormal response by the immune system to antigens, right? That then become allergens when they invoke an allergic response, because all antigens do not provoke an allergic response. But it happens when the APCs, right, or the antigen presenting cells, or you can have lingering cells, which is a form of APC that's in the skin. They sample part of the cell wall of bacteria or of any kind of ragweed, pollen, dander, anything that comes in contact with the body. And what happens is it sends a signal. It goes into the lymph nodes, and the lymph nodes is the gateway or the roads in which your leukocytes or your white blood cells travel, okay? And what it does is that it approaches these native or these naive CD4 cells, THO cells, which is the precursor to TH2 or TH1. And what happens is if there are IL-4 and IL-3, which is interleukin cytokines that are in the blood, it can influence what type of T cell that it either turns into a CD4 plus T cell, CD4 plus T cell. Then you have CD8 plus T cells, which is cytotoxic T cells. And what happens is these interleukins, these also can be passed on via the blood, via breast milk. So when the mother breastfeeds the child, she's passing on interleukins and some of these other antibodies on to that child. And that child is now being predisposed for a lot of the things that the parent has. So a lot of times people say it's a genetic thing, and I would say that's arguable. Sometimes it can be genetic ailment. If you look at the alleles on certain chromosomes of the body. But my perspective is that a lot of it has to do with what is passed on from mother to child, either via the placenta or breast milk. that the mother passes on these antibodies, these interleukins, and passes on this information to predispose the child's immune system, right? But there's things that the mother can do prenatally before this stuff is passed on to the child to prevent the child from developing a lot of the issues that that mother has, right? And this is very deep stuff, and I'm going to touch on some of it in this atopic dermatitis lecture. But anyway, so the interleukin 4 and 13, these are what influences the Th2 cell to produce these antibodies, right? Which is IgE. Your body should be producing IgG or IgA, but when it produces IgE, that means you're predisposed for allergies. And whatever allergy you're predisposed for, the allergies that you've come into contact with when this process started to occur. So your B cells are then activated by the T cells, Th2 cells, and the Th2 cells deal with extracellular parasites or extracellular antigens. Your Th1 cells deal with intracellular pathogens. So what happens is if you are being affected by extracellular parasite and your body produces Th1 cells in response to that, then what's going to happen is these tumor necrosis factor alpha and INF, these things that influences this Th1 cell, the body is only going to create cytotoxic T cells, which is CD8 plus, which means it's an active T cell. And these are plasma cells. When the B cells are activated, they're called plasma cells, right? And you have degranulation that occurs with eosinophils, basophils, along with mast cells in response to allergies, right? So you have a situation where the body is gearing itself up via the T cell. Remember, the T cells drives all the responses because you have an adaptive immune system and innate immune system. The adaptive immune system deals with your T cells and your B cells. Your innate immune system is your macrophages, your neutrophils, your neutrophils, your neutrophils, your macrophages, your APCs, Langerhans cells. These are all part of your innate immune system, which is their first line of attack. And once the body first encounters an antigen, then what it does is that it relays this information back to the general, so the generals can create a strategy to deal with this attack in future times. But if your body is setting itself up to address an extracellular parasite or ailment or something in an intracellular format by way of a Th1 cell, then that means you can succumb to whatever this extracellular thing is. Your body has to be, your leukocytes has to be mature enough to know how to address what. Anything that's an intracellular parasite, such as any kind of latent diseases, right? Like herpes is a latent disease. It hides in the nerve cells, which there's not a lot of access for the white blood cells to get into the nerve cells. So the best way to get rid of herpes is to force the latent cells or the virions to bud out of the nerve cells and into the bloodstream, all of it, so that way the white blood cells can attack it and destroy it, because your body already creates an immunity to herpes via antibodies, right? So really what I do with people who are on the extreme side of wanting to get rid of it, we have certain mechanisms, whether it's naturally or some things that you can take that are semi-synthetic, but it's based off of natural substances that can activate all of these herpes cells in your body to force them into the bloodstream, and the body can deal with it. Now, in regards to herpes, there's two ways to test herpes. Either you can address the virion that's already in the blood, or you can look for the antibody the body has created in response to herpes. So if we were to cure somebody, I'm not saying that I cure anybody, I'm not saying, I'm giving you information, speaking hypothetically. If a person was to be cured of the herpes virus in their body, that is not alleviating their body from the antibody that has created in response to it. And the antibodies cross-link with the protein on the surface of the virion. And what it does is that it causes a protein cascade of other proteins that are circulating in the body to adhere to it and tag it, so that way white blood cells can get to it much faster. But if you was to get a test after we got rid of all the virion from out your body, let's say you never have an outbreak ever again, or the case may be, you can still be diagnosed with the disease because you still have the antibody. So they can still test for the antibody, and with the antibody can tell that you have it. Same thing with HIV. Your body develops an antibody for HIV. You have glycoprotein 120, which is one of the glycoproteins that they look for in regards to determine whether or not that you have HIV in your blood, right? But there's ways that we can address it and get rid of these viruses, so that way they're no longer in your body, but your body still has these antibodies. Just like people with allergies, your body still has created IgE antibodies. There's a way to suppress the IgE antibodies, so that way they're not alerted and they do not force a response. In regards to the skin, you have mast cells that are in the epidermal layer of the skin, and these mast cells are activated with these antibodies, and when they cross-link and come into contact with these allergens, they degranulate and they dump histamines and a whole bunch of other things into the bloodstreams. They dilate the capillaries to allow white blood cells to come in and investigate the scene, and a cascade of various things happen. Cytokines, chemokines, all bunch of things occurs. So the objective is how to control this process naturally and organically. What supplements can you take in order to ensure that this process is working maturely and that it's operating optimally within your body? Right? So there's no one cure-all for it. You have to understand this process and how to keep it at bay, so that way you don't suffer from any kind of outbreaks or any kind of reoccurring ailment. So that's the important thing. Learning how the system works, learning how to work with it, and what substances, natural substances, help to regulate this process, right? And when I talk about atopic dermatitis, the solutions I give you are all natural substances that help to regulate this process, okay? So asthma is when you have these mast cells that's on the mucosal walls of the esophagus going in down into the alveoli sacs. So the alveoli sacs are sacs that are designed to fuse oxygen from the air, from the outside world, and filter the O2 molecules through the blood. And then the blood takes it, and the hemoglobin attaches it, becomes to hemoglobin, and the hemoglobin in the red blood cell takes that to various places of the body, and it provides that oxygen O2 molecule to the body, which the body then synthesizes and creates a free radical oxygen molecule that breaks once that O2 chain is broken, and that free radical can cause damage to other cells. This is why we have to make sure we have a continuous flow of antioxidants in the body that can adhere to those free radical oxygen molecules and be able to flush them out your system, so that way they don't cause additional damage. Or antioxidants is important. But those mucosal membranes, right, in your esophagus and your airway tract, all the way to your alveoli sacs, which is the last point of contact with the outside world, like your skin interfaces with the outside world, and your airways, your esophagus, your stomach, all of these things interfaces with the outside world. Your other organs in your body, like your liver and your heart, they don't deal with the outside world. So there's a different way of addressing these organs in order to correct any issues. And anybody that has asthma, just like if you have eczema, you have type 1 hypersensitivity. And this process I just showed you is what is the cause. This top process is what is the cause of that allergic reaction. So asthma is just an allergic reaction which the body produces excess mucus that then floods up the alveoli sacs and prevents it from transfusing oxygen and bringing it into the bloodstream. Hence why you have your chest feels like it's restricting and you can't breathe. It's because the alveoli sacs are filled up with mucus, which the body eventually rids itself of. But if it doesn't do it in time, you can actually die from it. That's why when you get an inhaler like a albuterol or Preventol, whatever, what these steroids do is that they prevent inflammation and they cause these sacs to swell. So that way air can be forced or be pulled into the body while the body's trying to alleviate itself of the excess mucus. But what happens as a result is that it affects metabolic processes. All medication affects metabolic processes. And metabolic processes are natural processes that's designed to perform certain functions in the body. When there's a dysfunction of metabolic processes, there are natural ways to get the body back in sync so it can operate optimally. But what we do is that we cleave towards medicines that pharmaceuticals and doctors and physicians prescribe to us. And all they do is they break down the body further, because now the body's further altered because certain metabolic processes are interfered with. All right. So that's that. I mean, I have other writings up here. I did teachings on consecutive Vav, Yosef's name. This is me parsing out Yeshayahu 58:1. This is Men Kepere, which is one of the title names of Dehudi Mas, which is Thutmose III. Over here, I have at the bottom, y'all can see, I go into Hebrew articles, prepositions, and conjunctions. And I teach on that. I teach my family that. I teach small sessions on that. So yeah, so I go over a variety of different things. This here is Periset and Peliset. These are the Philistines. And Peliset is the word for Philistine in the scriptures. Periset, because there's no L in Medunecha, it is placed with an R, but they're interchangeable. Periset is one of the sea peoples that's mentioned in the mortuary temple of Ramses III or Ramesu III. So that's other stuff I have in there. But sensitization goes along with this process in regards to the allergies. All right. I have Melech here. I talk about imperfect, simple, active, cow stem, verb form, all of that stuff. I did a lesson on that. Dendritic cells, which is part of the mucosal membrane. All of these things, like I said, eczema and asthma are interrelated in a type 1 hypersensitivity based ailment, and which the body produces the IgE antibody, and the IgE antibody is responsible for these allergic reactions. But there's ways that it can be reversed, but it starts prenatally. Prenatally, it starts, and if you can address it in the mother when she conceives and while she has that child, you can prevent that child from being predisposed while that child is in the womb, when that child is born, and once they're breastfeeding, which I encourage every mother, if you can breastfeed, if you can't physically breastfeed, pump as much as you can, as long as you can, so that child is not exposed. And gluten allergies are when children are exposed to certain cereals at ages under 6. They later on in life develop gluten allergies. I do not recommend any parents that have children, do not give your children any cereal until at least the age of 1.5. Do not give it. A lot of parents give it to children because it's a filler. You know what I'm saying? It makes the child's stomach full, yeah, because it swells. But what happens is it adversely affects the gastrointestinal tract. And I'll probably do a health lecture on that to show you guys where gluten allergies come from, how to reverse gluten allergy. But it starts when parents give children or expose them to wheat, barley, and other types of cereal grains when they're children, when they're in the newborn to infant stages. You should never give a child cereal. Please, parents, and I tell you, do not, if you have a newborn, do not give that child any cereal. Do not give them anything like that, at least until the age of 1.5, because otherwise they can later on in life develop a gluten allergy. And I'll go into that as well another time. So with that, family, I think I spoke too much. Even though y'all may not think I speak enough, but I think I spoke enough, and I'm getting tired. So let me put this stuff up. I'm gonna go. Hopefully, this information helped to enlighten y'all. Yeah. Hopefully, this information enlightened y'all. Hopefully, empowered y'all. Have you researched epigenes and the generational effects? Yes, I have. I've researched that. Father has bad asthma and the exact same allergies. Yes, like I said, my lecture is going to touch on all of that, family. And it's only going to be a very small fee to rent it. But if you want to purchase it, it's available for purchase as well. Because it took me a lot of sleepless nights in order to put this information together for y'all. Because like I said, I work 10 hours, then I have a family. And then I counsel, and then I have other projects, and I have to respond to emails and inboxes. So, I'm inundated with a lot of stuff. I do offset it by giving it out to other people that's part of my organization to assist. But I need more people to be part of it, and as well, I need more time to devote to it. Because all of this can benefit our community. All right. So with that, family, I love you. Thank you for watching. Next time, y'all can ask me your questions, and I'll go into it. Like I said, for those of you who want to donate immediately, you can click on the dollar symbol there for the super chat if you want to donate immediately. If you guys want to donate via GoFundMe, go to www.gofundme.com/Kingdom Harbinger. If you want to send a PayPal, you can do PayPal as well. Just go to PayPal and use my email, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. The people that want to join the organization, if you want to help in regards to proactivism, in regards to help, in regards to debt elimination, in regards to Hebrew Israelite cultural research, and just being part of a body where you can do where we can do our own studies and look up our own information and use objective methodologies and ascertaining conclusions on various things and part of our culture and being able to preserve and protect our culture. If you want to join Kingdom Harbinger Ministries in doing that and becoming autonomous and contributing your business, your organization to a body whose sole purpose and intent is to edify the community, you can definitely email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. We'll send you an assessment email in return. If you pass the assessment test, which most people do, then we'll sign you up for the organization. We'll send you a welcome letter, and you're part of the ministry. And what we're going to do is help to bring more people in your area part of the ministry, so that way you guys can collectively come together and you can work together instead of this being a virtual community. We can make it physical. Because I know a lot of people ask for Kingdom Harbinger Ministries in their neighborhood, and we definitely want to bring that to y'all there. I think in the next video, I'm probably going to do a parsing session. I'll go parse through a random verse in the scriptures for you guys and show you guys how I parse through it. I know there's some people in this group who are really like parsing aficionados, and I'm gonna do something for y'all. I know I have some health aficionados. I know I got some literature or scripture aficionados out there. I want to make sure I cater to everybody that watches this channel and be able to give you guys some good insights, tools, etc., so you guys can be better. Yes, I need researchers. Deborah Swart, definitely need researchers. Definitely people who's willing to respond to messages, who want to moderate this chat as well. If you want to be a moderator for the chat, email me, kingdomharbinger@gmail.com, because I moderate it while I teach, and sometimes that could be a lot. So if you want to assist with moderating, let me know. I can make you a moderator for it. If you want to help in regards to the health sector, let me know. The debt elimination sector, if you have experience in that, or you're interested in being trained and want to do that, let me know. If you want to help to teach the fundamentals that we are founded on in regards to this ministry, in regards to the Hebrew culture, we need people to assist with that. We need people to bring the message of this ministry out on the streets. Anybody that wants to participate anyway, if you feel the essence of this ministry talks to you and this organization is one that's going to cause you to actively be involved in your community and in your culture and in creating paradigms to solve societal ills, this organization is for you. Email us at kingdomharbinger@gmail.com. Get the assessment test. Let us sign you up for membership. Get your welcome letter. And then we're going to tell you exactly what you can do to contribute to make this ministry even greater than what it is today. All right. So with that, family, I love you. Thank you guys for watching. You're welcome, Tina. I'm a servant first, so I'm obliged by my creator to serve the people the best way that I can. I want to give as much as I can to you guys for free, but at the same time, I need support. I need financial support and financial resources so I can expand this and I can be able to afford more time, effort, and energy into responding to your questions, responding to your inquiries, resolving the ills that you guys face in your community, and be able to just do the best that I can to leave a legacy behind, which is a template for others to build on top of, so that way we can have a quality of life until things change in our society. But it starts with us, family. It starts with us. So the next lecture that's coming out is going to be Unity Through Autonomy. And it's probably going to be a series. This time I'm going to discuss collective politics, economics, and housing. And I don't go in depth in all the angles of politics, all the angles of economics, all the angles of housing. What I do is that I pick one particular point in each one of these umbrella titles, and I hammer home on it how if we implement it, it can be used to resolve our social ills. Because as a conglomerate or as an amalgamated system of all these points that I make, it can resolve a lot of the setbacks that prevent us from actually achieving success in these areas of politics, economics, and housing. But what it does is that it forces us to work together collectively, no matter what your ideological differences are, because we all suffer from the same common denominator. So these ideas forces us to work together collectively in order to make it a reality, so we can actually enact change in our community. All right. So thank you guys as well. Leila Tov, which means good night in Hebrew. I love you, family. I appreciate the support as always. I do this for you guys. Again, the next video will be up this Sunday. Well, next video I'm doing is on Sunday. I'll try to release it Sunday evening. It's not too many errors. If not, you guys will get it on Monday. But definitely, man, that's going to be an eye-opener, and I guarantee you guys will appreciate that. I'm releasing it for free on the channel. After that, we're doing a health lecture, because I know you guys really want that. And then after that, we're doing the one on kemetic, and get those out there for the people. And then after that, then we can focus on dealing with other inquiries and other questions that you guys ask me. I'll do many lessons on that. Or when I do my full lectures on things that I actually speak about, I have 2 more lined up for the rest of this year. 2 major ones lined up for the rest of the year that I know you guys will enjoy. And we're going to, like I said, do that extremely good production quality. It's going to be designed much differently than what you've seen me lecture before. It's going to tickle your ears and your eyes. It's going to stimulate you with the information, the narrative, and how we're going to bring you into the world of this information. I mean, what we got in store for you guys is going to be phenomenal, because you guys deserve it, right? So love you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace, shalom, and Black Power, family. You know how we do. Good night, family.